Tonight's class, we will honor Robin de Pontoise. At this time, we ask that you direct your attention to the video board.
Reflecting back on Robin's career, there's no question based on results that Robin is extraordinary. 10 years of Grand Prix show jumping and 51 pages of results on his record speak to the consistency and longevity of Robin. All of those years brought success and incredible joy into the lives of his owner, Kathy Gallagher, his riders, Peter Lutz and myself, and all of his support staff, including his longtime groom, Jesus Pimentel. But it's not the end of those successes alone that will bring tears to our eyes tonight. It is that Robin touched hearts everywhere he went. Grooms, trainers, other riders, stewards, and other people who I didn't even know always seemed to be cheering for Robin. His bright, beautiful eye has the glimmer of an old soul that reminds us why we do this sport. It is that incredible connection with the horse, the unspeakable language that binds us on our journey to success. Robin thrived on the journey, and he understood the partnership. Every Grand Prix, Robin pulled me towards the in-gate rather than the warm-up. He loved the fanfare, all the attention, and most of all, Robin loved making his people happy. Tonight we celebrate Robin's victories, his incredible talent, and his powerful character, which has given joy to so many. Thank you, Robin. I am forever grateful.
See for the video a very special horse that retires here tonight. Robin de Pontoise, a horse that's been a World Cup qualifying winner, competed at the World Cup finals, US team representative as well, and 5-star Grand Prix winner in Spruce Meadows as well. Over 51 pages of results internationally, and Robin, who started his career with Peter Lutz, who joins us tonight as well in 2014, before moving to Skylar Riley, who rides him out today. Between them, they won the World Cup in Las Vegas, represent the United States of the Americas at the World Cup finals in 2016 and qualified them for them again in 2020. 5-star wins back in 2016 at Spruce Meadows as well, and the following year representing Team USA in Mexico in the Nations Cup as well. In the later years, also heading to the Nations Cup final in Barcelona, again representing their country. Their continued success here at the Winter Equestrian Festival, part of the American Gold Cup, Devon, consistent results there, and Grand Prix wins in Upperville and Traverse City. One of the most consistent Grand Prix horses of the modern era, and we're delighted to welcome alongside the team behind him as on goes the laurels. At 20 years of age, it's now time to say thank you very much, Robin. Ladies and gentlemen, as the rug goes on, the saddle goes off, give Robin a round of applause. A fantastic horse. And joined tonight by Catherine Gallagher, the owner, and Jesus Pimentel, the groom. John and Missy, trainers from the North Run team who've worked with Skylar alongside. Peter Lutz, the rider previously too, joins us tonight. Very good evening to you, Peter. And Katie Williams as well, part of the team here tonight as they put on the rug, and Robin earns a very well-earned retirement, and the final appearance here in the International Arena. Skylar alongside the team there to present. Very, very well done to them, and it is a wonderful way to give this horse a fantastic sign-off that has produced so much and so much excitement in the big arenas, not only here in the United States, but across the world. Robin de Pontual, who will now enjoy a fantastic and well-earned retirement. So for one final time, the saddle off, and thank you, Skylar, thank you to the team. Thank you very much as they head out under the bridge. Thank you very much, Robin. Enjoy the paddocks. Well, we get set the final preparations for tonight's big four-star Grand Prix, the NetJets Grand Prix here tonight. A amazing field for the competition as well. And we're set for more excitement here in Wellington.
Tequila is the sign that you are in the right place at the right time with the right people. It is tequila redefined. Unapologetically modern and always a ride to remember. Chrome Horse Society Tequila is the official tequila of the 2025 Winter Equestrian Festival. Please sip responsibly.
So much. Thank you so much.
Doors are new beginnings. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors.
For you, Mama.
Through personalized money management that can evolve with new chapters. And they can proactively view your entire portfolio with an eye on taxes and the impact of risk. So you can enjoy moments together. Because doors were meant to be opened.
If only every adventure began with your makers of wishes come true. If only they anticipated every aspect of your imagination. They would remind you that surprises are for the child in all of us. Help you celebrate successes and ensure all your milestones are absolutely unforgettable. What if only was possible? It is with only NetJets. If only every adventure began with your makers of wishes come true. If only they anticipated every aspect of your imagination. They would remind you that surprises are for the child in all of us. Help you celebrate successes and ensure all your milestones are absolutely unforgettable. What if only was possible? It is with only NetJets.
A bottle of Chrome Horse Society tequila is the sign that you are in the right place at the right time with the right people. It is tequila redefined. Unapologetically modern and always a ride to remember. Chrome Horse Society Tequila is the official tequila of the 2025 Winter Equestrian Festival. Please sip responsibly.
A very warm welcome to Wellington International. The Winter Equestrian Festival back underway with another big night ahead of us. It's building and building. This time it is the 4-star NetJets Grand Prix, and it is an amazing lineup that we'll take you through in a few moments' time. But here at Wellington International, bringing out the best of the best here in southern Florida, and I'm delighted to say after a chilly start to the week, it has improved. NetJets, our presenting sponsor here tonight, the worldwide leader in private aviation, offering an in-flight experience that is precisely yours. Every aspect of your imagination is anticipated, and each detail of your journey is artfully curated, all while NetJets prioritizes your safety and comfort. The result? Well, absolute peace of mind and luxury. Your moments become even more remarkable as soon as you step aboard. Find your ideal travel solution at netjets.com. Dot Technologies, thanks to them as they bring us our live stream each week, an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate and special events as well. Visit them online at dottechnologies.com. And bringing you to our live streaming, the USCF is also a supporting sponsor of our live stream, in part with the support of US Equestrian Federation and the USCF network as well. Thanks to them. Well, what have we got to look forward to tonight as part of our $215,000 NetJets Grand Prix? Big course, big field, exciting lineup for tonight's competition as well. So we're going to get into the real meat of what to expect here in a few minutes' time. That barrier will be going up. They'll walk under the bridge with our first on course, and we're in for an exciting night of competition. Last year was a fantastic battlefield with Battle Cry, winning with Tiffany Foster of Canada, who will be at the top of this time around. We will see, but it's had some big winners over the years, notably Ben Mayer in the last few years as well. And here tonight, when we take a look at our list of riders competing, we're looking 5 of the world's top 10 competing in tonight's class as well. So there's lots on the table for the riders to try and take home tonight. And some world-class horses as well. I'll take you through those as we go through our start list too in just a moment's time as well, because it is an absolutely first-class lineup for this and is still building to what is going to be the first of our 5-star Grand Prix on week 5. So next week, remember, we're out on the grass, and it is the Great Charity Challenge on Saturday night, and then the following week we are into the Fidelity 5-star Grand Prix. But tonight it's $215,000 NetJets Grand Prix. Tanner Karotkin will be our first to go. Jorge Matcaptivilla. Christian Kukuk, the Olympic champion, goes third with Checker 47. I said it was a good lineup. In we have the likes of Natalie Dina Cotahem, the horse that she rode in Aachen on the Nations Cup as well. Michael Hughes making a return to US soil. Cian O'Connor of Ireland with Ironman, and multi 5-star winner here, Bertram Allen and Conquest de Rigo. Tiffany Foster returns, this time with electric in our first 18. Brian Murgray and his World Cup winning horse MTM Viva la Rêve. Jessica Mendoza in good form, as you heard this week on WEF Weekly on In the Air. And then further down, Ben Mayer, a rider who's won this before, of course, the rider in the world's top 10 with Anjou de Gracien. And then on to our field of Anna Dryden, Genevieve Mayer and Lucas Porter. Richard Vogel of Germany, again from the top list with Fenio. And down to Carly Anthony, Heavenly W could play a big part here as well. Dara Kenny, 0K, never too far away from the top of the list as well for the Irishman. And Mark Blumen and Ubiluk could certainly pull a big win out of tonight too. Then look at the final few. Niall Nassar, Kent Farrington, Henrik von Eckermann, the world #1, with his Olympic gold medal winning horse in team, World Championship horse, King Edward as well. What more do you want out of a big night's sport? That's the lineup of what's coming up tonight, and it's based on the order of the results from the Grand Prix qualifier earlier on this week, won by Henrik von Eckermann, and that was with Glamour Girl on that occasion. So, we're going to take a look at our 5 riders to watch. We've narrowed it down a little, but we'll see whether this pays off. Henrik von Eckermann, the world #1. Will the great King Edward, what will they bring to the table tonight? Ben Mayer is the world #3 who will go in the field once again. He's a previous winner of this class as well, and he's been going close. Dara Kenny already with wins behind him for the Irishman. Carly Anthony, so consistent with Heavenly W, and you can't look past the Olympic champion on his Olympic winning horse, Checker, and his Rolex Grand Prix winning horse here in Wellington as well. Christian Kuckuck, the world #7 from Germany as well. We see the WEF Grand Prix wins. That equals the Rolex Grand Prix. That's what that #1 translates into. So lots to go for, and thanks to Prestige as they bring us our riders to watch there as well. That's an exciting lineup of those to see, and we're going to take you through exactly how it's gone over the week here as well, which has been an exciting week of competition. As I say, we saw success for a big showdown early on the week with Henrik von Eckermann, the likes of Kent Farrington in the mix there as well. It was a real battle of the best here on a Thursday afternoon. Thursday afternoon, would you believe? And now we are into a serious Saturday night here as well. Looking forward to how this is going to play out tonight too. And alongside me for all the competition tonight is Kelly Cruciotti van der Veen. Kelly, very good evening to you. Back in the booth once again with us. This is a really tasty lineup.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Stephen. No, it's a beautiful course with an amazing lineup of horse and rider combinations, so really exciting to watch.
Looking forward to this. Looking forward to seeing King Edward in the flesh here.
Absolutely. What a treat it is for us.
He's a horse that won the, World Championship. He was gold medal at the Tokyo Olympic Games in terms of team. And at one point, Henrik, of course, held the European, the World and the Olympic golds through there in terms of team competition as well, and individual world champion. And he's a twice winner of the World Cup final, current holder of that title as well. So looking forward to how this is going to play out tonight. But if you think that's strong, like I mentioned, we've got Christian Kuckuck there with Checker 47. Now, the reality, they're going to be going for some big stuff here. They're really getting in the groove now. We saw in the last few weeks, we saw for the National Grand Prix as well, some big players there. Yep. They're just really starting to knock off the rust, ready for a big season.
Yeah, you know, we have such a long season here in Wellington that we're very, very fortunate to jump. You know, it's still early. This is week 3 technically, so we got a lot of show jumping left. So getting the horses to peak at the right time, at the right moment, these riders are professionals at it. So they're probably, this is their biggest class of 2025, and they're just getting the feel out, getting ready for the rest of the circuit.
Getting ready for it. And, well, we're going to take a look at the course as well. There's not much leeway in there. It is a good test set by Peter Grant, and we're going to take a look around this course. That fan fence that you see on the farthest, closest to the bridge there is the last fence on course as well, so that just keep that in your mind as well. It's going right towards the in-gate, just a little bit of an angle off it as they will go down to that final fence. So our thanks to Fidelity, who will bring us that course rundown. Time allowed is 75 seconds. Peter Grant, our course designer, $215,000 in the prize fund. And here, courtesy of Fidelity, we go swinging down underneath the bridge to take a look at the course tonight, or where it's headed. Fence 1 is the triple bar, the Lovester fence, to start us off. From there, it is to a big size vertical at fence 2. Long distance down to fence 2. Yep. Turn back there to 3 and 4 as they'll come up on 4 strides to the change there to the what's now an Oxer vertical. Fence 5 over the water tray. Double coming up with a 1 stride distance there to vertical Oxer on the way out. 8 meters 20 for those that are real aficionados. 7 to 8 should probably come up on the 5 strides down there on the Oxer on the way out. The triple combination alongside the International Club side of the arena. 2 strides and 1 through here as well. Oxer on the way out. Turn down the arena again for the final run. And then it is 3 stride distance from 11 to 12 and coming on 32.50 in terms of meters distance down to the last fence 13 and fence 12 there with the black planks on top. It's going to make this a little bit tricky. It's, well, white planks on top as they are now. And 465 meters in length, 13 obstacles, 16 jumping efforts here tonight as well. And we are looking forward to seeing this group do battle. So lots to put in the pot here tonight. Like I say, we've also got a whole group of youngsters competing here tonight, and this is a chance to really show their great ability here as well. And looking forward to how they perform. Quite a few of those coming up in the early run here. I think, 6 under 25s in the first 12 here. So there's a run from there. Again, it's going in reverse order of the qualifier from earlier on this week as well. And that is going to be a good test for them early on. But looking through at them, they've also shown some early form. In amongst that, Kelly, of course, is Christian Kukuk with checker 47. Not far past 25, but with some good proven form from that point of view.
Yeah, I think it'll be nice to have Christian go so early to give a good gauge on the course. And then, like you said, some real young talent mixed in there until we get to the latter end of the class. A lot of horses with a lot of experience. Maybe the riders lack it, but the horses kind of make up for it. And then sometimes some horses are a bit younger with more experienced riders. So you have a little bit of both.
I've seen a 5 to watch in the competition from that point of view. You've had a look at the whole field. We're looking at 45 in total as we've had a quick run down there. Yep. Who jumps out for you aside from the obvious?
Well, there's so many. I think there's a lot on good form. I think Emily Contreras jumped a lot of really nice rounds on that mare. Michaela Langmeyer has been extremely consistent. Alex Granado has a lot of top results on those horses. I mean, I think if you threw a dart, you could hit somebody that's going to have an amazing clear round. There's so much talent on the field.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to head over to the singing of the national anthem, brought to us tonight by Binks Forest Elementary, and delighted to once again be involved with some of the local schools here in the Wellington area. Some a little bit beyond that as well, but it's a great way to bring them all together, and it is a great addition here. So we're going to hand over to the singing of the national anthem. Well, very well, nice way to start, and a big cheer for the crowd there from the Binks Forest Elementary choir there, as well as they bring us the national anthem here tonight. So let's get into competition with 23-year-old Tana Korotkin as the first to go. Like I say, there's a big group of the under-25s that go early in this competition, as well as a proven few in there too, thrown in the mix. And 23 will be the first half of this NetJets Grand Prix here tonight. and Kelly Cruciotti van der Veen alongside me. Kelly, what was your initial impression of the course as we pick up with Tana Korotkin?
I thought the course was very fair. Obviously, there's some big fences out there, very delicate, tall verticals, but I like the feel of it. It was really equitation-y to me, line and track, and I think the riders are going to pick up on little things here and there. I do think time allowed will be a factor. There's a lot of places where you can get a bit lost, so we'll see how that plays out.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see 75 seconds, what time allowed from that point of view. Very good combination here that won Grand Prix up in Traverse City in August. Former rider Jessica Mendoza, who's been going well so far here this season as well. The Irish-bred gelding by OBOS Quality is Kinmar Quality Hero, with the young US rider Tana Korotkin to get us underway. Decent triple bar to start them off, Kelly.
Yeah, good triple bar, and then, like you said, a lot of space to jump to really get to riders opening up. And then after this, the jumps come very, very quickly. This turn I walked a few times. He's really playing with the black and white striped poles. Tanner, I would think this is probably the biggest he's jumped with this horse. He hasn't had it for so long, but it looks like a really exciting partnership for him. I thought he rode that. It was a little like what I walked. So he went up in 6. I think for smaller moving horses, you'll see out in 7. He actually got the 6 done early. Maybe he was thinking about it to the white oxer and just made a little bit of a move into the front pole.
Roll back here to the vertical at 7. 5 strides down here to the NetJets oxer from that point of view. Now this triple combination. What were your thoughts walking this?
Yeah, I mean, I saw some half and half, some riders walking a number. It really depends on what you like to do. If you're married to it, it's 10 strides. If you'd prefer not to count, it's just off your eye and then find a little bit of a balancing distance. Tanner's actually riding a beautiful round. It's a shame about the fence earlier, but the horse is really jumping well and he's giving it a great ride. Super there.
That plank there is going to be pretty delicate, and this final fence just drawing you down towards home to do exactly that. It is going to be 2 for time, 8 faults for jumping, 76.91. So 2 over that time allowed of 75 seconds. So he picks up 2 time faults for that as well. Total of 10 for Tana Korotkin and Kinmar Quality Hero. But as you say, put this in perspective, this would probably be, I'm sure to be, is the biggest track that they've jumped so far in this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Tanner's going to be very, very happy with that. Obviously, we always all want to jump a clear round. But having been so early in the partnership with this horse, I'd be very pleased with a lot of that course was spot on.
So first completed, and Jorge Mat Captivia will go next for Chile and CCS Eurico, former Ride of Ireland's Billy Toomey. And now with the 11-year-old Holstein stallion by Eurico for Jorge, who was top 20 at the Pan American Games previously, trains with Dara Kenny, who comes up later in the field as well. And a very deliberate ride at that first fence.
Yeah, I liked how he really set a nice gallop. This is a much different type of horse than we just saw for Tanner's. This is a much more light, modern horse. So it would be interesting to see the time allowed if he changes his plan at all after seeing Tanner have 2 time faults. He did that really well. He went a little bit wider to this white oxer. Yeah, so he actually stayed a little on the outside track, and then the 6 got a bit too far, and he ended up pushing into it. I think that line is very horse specific. I think you have to do the number that best suits your horse. Some horses will do it easy in 6, but if you feel like you have a better chance of leaving it up in 7, do the 7.
And again, it's going to be looking at time to see how that is. A little bit of a maneuver through the triple combination, got them straightened up through there.
And he gave him a nice strong ride. He needed a little encouragement, and Jorge was right there. And this is just, this line actually rides quite nice. It's just a nice 5. The 3 isn't too short. And then just nice 7 home to very tall vertical, like you said.
Yeah,
little rub.
Big fence to finish off there. It is going to be there. 4 jumping 3 times, 77.58. I think a little bit steady early on.
Yep.
But again, for this pair, finding their feet at this level from that point of view, we might sound again like we're repeating ourselves, but actually you put a good spin on that round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, it's so early in the season. This is a huge class. I think he'll be very, very happy. One mistake to maybe learn from, but the rest, the horse jumped a really super round.
Drops down there through the seashell double. Interview is Christian Kukuk and Checker 47 as a pair. They won the Rolex Grand Prix here in Wellington, the horse for the Beerbam Stables. They went on to win the Olympic individual gold in Paris last year as well. Went round in Geneva just the 4 faults for the world #7. Madrid Grand Prix winners last year. We don't need to make too much of their historical results. It's just going to be really good to see them out here in Wellington.
Yeah, no lack of experience for these two as a combination. It's nice to see him looking so fresh in the beginning. You can see even from 1 to 2 how he's already shaving off the track to go right over to the second jump. Checker's a very naturally quick horse, so you know he's thinking about the time allowed, but not hurrying him too much.
Yeah.
Beautifully ridden there. Christian also does a really lovely job of turning up to the fences, but he's still straight the last 2 strides. So he does the 7.
Interesting.
Beautiful jump.
Yeah.
Yep. And Checker just flies over that like it's a schooling jumper fence. Very short back to the skinny.
But again, he's got that power off the ground, hasn't he?
And he has so much adjust. Little rough there.
Yeah, a little bit of a reach there.
Yeah. He actually turned so short to the skinny. I thought maybe is he going to add in 5, but you, like you said, he has so much rideability forward and back. He can turn up short and still make the 5 work. Just steady in 5 here.
Time will be fine.
Yep.
I should expect.
Beautiful.
There we go. First the clears. As I say, hardly one that we're going to fall out of bed with surprise with, but Christian Kukuk, Checker 47, it's lovely to see them in action. But like you say, they've got that ability, that power, that athleticism to be able to, and they practiced all that at home, to turn up to a fence, be a couple of strides away and go pop.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see a lot of trust between these two. And he jumps super. He looks fresh and really excited about his job, but I thought Christian executed it beautifully.
So it's 75 seconds time allowed. They went round in 72.11, which showed what is possible. But again, they've had far more experience of this, and you take it back to Paris, where we're in different streets from that point of view. But it is a tough night nonetheless. Back to our youngsters competing. 21-year-old Max Watchman now of Ireland. Susan Magner's Lexington. The 11-year-old gelding by Ed Toulon for Max, who at 21 has already been on Nations Cup for Hickstead, winning teams for Nations Cup as well. Jumped the Grand Prix in Dublin on this horse as well. He's a twice young rider, gold medalist too. And he's really going leaps and bounds. Yeah,
for 21 years old, he has a big resume, a lot of experience. Yeah, you know, that turn kind of comes up a little bit short, and then the horse just looked like it maybe looked down at the black and white poles. You know, I think Peter Grant's idea, that whole line, was to kind of draw the horse's eye down. He did a very good job with his upper body of staying tall and letting the horse jump up to him, and got a really nice jump.
And if you want to create that, putting your trainer hat on, if you want to create that, you know, space, do you just give it a bit more room there?
Yeah.
And go, okay, but you want that ability, like Checker had, to be able to turn up and go. Yeah. You won't look at it too much.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Christian did it perfectly, where he measured the time allowed, but still arrived at the fence very straight, so the horse didn't feel like it needed to look down or look into the bottom of the fence. A little bit the same thing on that left turn to the Liverpool. And I wouldn't think this combination also has so much experience at this level, so this will still be a very good round. He ends up on 8 to the last.
Gives a little shake of the head of the final fence. Every rider is their own biggest critic from that point of view. 73.71. And so the score there of 12 for Max Watchman and Lexington.
Yep.
Let's have a little look back and play on the positives as well.
Yeah, I think the horse jumps super. Like I said, I think it's just a little bit of fine-tuning here and there, and I think he's going to jump some really, really super rounds in the future on that horse. It has all the parts, just has to come together at the same time.
Jimmy Turano and Chewbacca HCC. Winners in Upperville, winners in Traverse City last year as well. The Holsteiner by Clara. Big jumping horse for this one. 13 years of age now. Chewbacca for Isaloo, incorporating the Jet Show stables as well. Top 10 in the Grand Prix already this season, in the 3-star Grand Prix. It's a level they've done before, and a horse that's got power and scope there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the scope won't be the problem for me. On this horse, I would think the time will be sharp for him. He's going to have to think about it from stride 1. And, you know, after fence 3 and 4, there's not a whole lot of places to really make up a lot of time. So if you're a bit slow in the beginning, you're kind of playing catch up. Little rub there. He needs to go right over to this. You know, the forward numbers for Jimmy will actually be slow. So the 6 actually got slow. Big jump out. The horse is making super efforts. It feels a little like we're going to be close to the time.
It feels steady, but then there is that, you know, there's a little bit of movement going on, and a little bit of up and down going into the fence, isn't there, as well? But as you say, that's how they get their power, and that's how they get going.
Absolutely.
I think we...
Oh, that was very
I was going to say, I think we're going to be on the edge, but maybe okay for time from that point of view, but just... Coming to the final fence now is just going to be a fraction over it, but still jump well. Finishing 2 time, 4 faults, 1 fence down, 76.83 for Jimmy Turano and Chewbacca HCC.
Yeah, and I think we'll see it hopefully again on the replay, but Jimmy, I think his rider clock was going off a little bit. It's that Liverpool. So he really wanted to try to make a short turn up to it, and the horse just was a little unbalanced, it looked like, when it got there.
And that's the thing. I mean, you know your horses, you know your ability, and you know your strengths and weaknesses, and you have to go, okay, where in this course is going to work for me, where is it? But again, just a little bit of moving around there, and just a light touch behind. 24-year-old Delaney Flynn. And Delaney with Namamia is the Belgian-bred mare. The 12-year-old by Fantomas de Muse for the Windsor Show Stables. Chrissy and John McRae. Horse that was with Jessica Burke in Ireland. Finished well in the Grand Prix here in Florida in the last few weeks as well. Second in the Grand Prix at Lexington back in October as well. So they've really started to put some good form together. And Delaney, great opportunity here with the McRaes to then step it up.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime you get to have horses to jump at this level is a huge opportunity, and Jonathan and Christine have been amazing, and Delaney's such a hard worker. She really, you know, puts so much effort into this. A little bit of an early fence. That black and white Oxford, I think, will play a part tonight for sure. Just looks like the connection is a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah.
The horse is maybe resisting the feeling. You know what? It's easy to think on the live stream. It looks very easy, but these fences come up so quickly when you're riding them. Now you can see she's just setting up a little bit. That was well ridden. And so much of it is just experience. You only get experience by doing it, and you can see the second half of the course is really smoothing out. Just a little bit close there.
What are your thoughts on that? Because it was catching out Jimmy as well. Is that going to be the start of the line in your anticipation of the rest of it, or what's the thought?
I think so. You know, you're getting close to home, and I think Peter Grant did a great job. You know, that last line isn't particularly technical with the strides. It's 5 and 3. It's a very comfortable 5, so maybe you take that vertical for granted and think, oh, I'll just get this out of the way.
Yeah.
And then it just catches up to you a little bit.
This should be the easy part of this line. Yeah.
We're home free.
Finishing there with the 16.74.88, just touched inside the time allowed for Delaney Flynn, but 4 down with Namamia again, stepping up here in the NetJets Grand Prix. Going to be really interested to see how that vertical plays its part. Let's move on to Nina Malafay, winner in the U25 Brain Juice Grand Prix just last week as well, out on the field. Won in Washington, riding for the Rain family here with Dynasty de Beaufort. Horses jumped on Nations Cup last year at Hickstead in Great Britain as well. This French-bred mare by de Montesimi. Nina, who was top 3 in the Global Tours Grand Prix in Monaco last year as well, and is now just touching towards that world's top 100. Very good French rider. We saw her, a little bit of her last year as well.
Yep.
Have you had a chance to see much of her in action yet this season?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, she's down here with great support from the Rain family and training with Nick Skelton and Laura Kraut, and Nina is a super talent. This horse is jumping absolutely beautiful. She really did a nice job. She knows her horse's stride. She put a little bit of a curve in that 4. Beautiful jump there. This horse has exceptional front end technique. It's just really nice to watch. And she's doing a really nice job of just leading the horse where she wants to go. Great reaction on the landing there to go forward for the 5 so it wasn't too far away. Really nice.
Yeah.
Trying not to say anything. Commentators curse.
It's the balance, but
Yep.
this, see how they fare here.
Yep.
Yep, gets it right. But landed, got herself out
Yep.
on the curve. There's not the temptation to cut that.
No. She did it just how the jump is set.
Yeah.
Up.
There we
Excellent.
go.
Really nice.
Really nicely
Yep.
done. So number 2 on the boards is Nina Malavé of France and Dynastie de Beaufort. Clear round number 2. So alongside Christian Kukuk. She would be delighted with that.
I think she's going to be over the moon. The horse jumped an absolutely beautiful round, but she also presented it so well.
Yeah.
She never gave the horse any indication that it was difficult or hard. She just kept showing him the fences, and it just kept jumping better. So she should be really happy with that.
And that line, that final line was a really good example.
Yep.
As you say, she got out, she made some movement out to the right,
Yep.
as you should do there, because it's not on a straight line.
Right.
To give yourself space to it and make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. No, she lined it up perfectly. She let the Liverpool vertical push her to the right and then just rode the 5 separately.
Alessandra Volpi, Alex, with the Cedar Fox of California's Gypsy Love, the mare by Guidam Sonner, is the 11-year-old. The rider who is 24 years of age now, competed at the World Cup finals previously in 2022. Top 5s in Traverse City and Washington last year as well. Really see how they fare here as well, because she's made some good impressions and made herself, put herself onto teams by jumping well too.
Yeah. This is a horse I got to see a little bit at the end of last year.
Yeah.
Jumped indoors in Harrisburg and then a few other times. And the partnership is really coming together. Just a little bit. Looked like maybe she wanted one more stride, and then it just fell a bit too far. I know she's worked a lot with the rideability on this horse. When I saw it, it was a bit fussy in the mouth, but it looks much, much better now. And it's such a talented jumper.
Working with Marcus Beerbaum, just a little touch there on the back.
Yep. Good reaction there.
Yeah. And again, it's almost the temptation. There's so much space to get into that triple combination. It sounds crazy when you've got a field to work in that you start to cut it too short.
Right. No, she really presented that well, and the horse is jumping a super round. She should be very happy with that. Just a touch over the time.
Yeah, 3 time for jumping for 77.67 for Alex Volpi this time, and Gypsy Love goes into 5th place so far. 2 clears at the moment. Now, interesting, aside from our 2 clears, we've got 3 4-faulters, all of which had time faults from that point of view. So there's definitely pressure in there from that, but we are going in reverse order of those competing from the qualifier earlier on this week. And a little of that, it looks like they almost caught it underneath.
Yeah, she just caught it up and then on the way back down. Yeah, I think the time is, I think Peter Grant really nailed it. You know, it's doable, but you definitely need to keep track of it the whole way around.
Absolutely. And you can see how that was so effectively done with Christian and Nina from that point of view. It's no good saying it's not achievable, because they
just made it look
the path
easy.
you needed.
Right, exactly.
Nikki Gallagher now, and with the ride of VDL Nikita is the 12-year-old Belgian-bred mare by Zaval VDL. For Nikki, finished top 3 in the Socrates Grand Prix up in New York last year. They finished top 3 previously in the WEF Challenge Cup on week 1. Top 5 in the Grand Prix for the 3-star here in November as well. And again, this is a mare where he's really started to step her up now and say, okay, what have we got?
Yeah, exactly. This mare is a real fighter, and Nicky is a really, really hard worker. Horses jump well for him. He's also very competitive when he gets into a jump off. So he opts for the 7.
Yeah, he was really having to say wait.
Yeah.
But then that's the trouble with an oxer coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. So he kind of stayed on the same line for 6 and tried to make room forward and back. I think when you do the 7, I think you have to add a little bit more shape in the line. So then, like you said, you're not so slow in that the oxer is not possible.
You're slow, and then you haven't got that power, have you?
Right. He's really working through that triple. She's a mare with a lot of heart. You can tell she really tries. This 5 will get forward. Yeah, just a little. He rode the line like we were talking about a little bit too far out, and he ended up on 8 there.
Going to be inside the time at 73.30. 8 falls just 2 down for Nikki Galligan and VDL Nikita. Like I say, she's really starting to get the tests into the bigger level and answered the majority of it.
No, he should be really happy with that. Like you said, she made 2 small mistakes, but I think by the end of circuit, I think she's going to be a horse that's going to be up there in the results for sure.
Like you say, she's a mare with heart. She really wants to try to do well out of it. Yeah. Natalie Dean, 25 years of age now, so she's still in our 25 and under category. Kota M, she's achieved a huge amount with this mare as well by Toulon, is the 12-year-old that competed in the Global Champions League final. She won with the Iron Dames from that point of view. Nations Cup through Germany, somewhere called Aachen. Did okay there. From the Marigold Sport horses, originally San Francisco. Also the horse she rode at the World Cup finals in 2023 as well. So this is a lovely combination to see. We saw them go well in the Grand Prix here last year in Wellington too. Looking forward to seeing them back dusted off and ready to go.
For sure. This is another mare with a ton of heart. You can see in the beginning she's a very, very small mare, but I don't think she thinks she's small. She thinks she's 17-2 and.
But it's interesting when you look at so many of the great horses, and I mean we've got King Edward coming up later. Many of them aren't big.
No, size really in this sport it doesn't matter a whole lot. If they, this mare, she's a lot of blood, which is very helpful. You can always see she's always moving towards the next fence, and she's got so much quality. She's got scope. She's got a lot of stride. So she does the 7. I mean, she jumps out so easy, just like air. And I wouldn't think Natalie has to think too much about the time with this horse because she is a quick mover. So she ends up on 6 there. I thought maybe 1 or 2 horses would if you made a short turn to the skinny. Oh, that's too bad. She just looked like maybe she cut it in just a little and arrived a little left to right.
And that's what I mean. You get down there, there's a huge amount of space, but there's nothing to get your orientation on. There's nothing to orient to because you'll get out there in the open ground and you find your spot.
That was too bad. The horse jumped a super round, but she should still be very happy with that.
Just inside the time, 74.94, just the 1 down for Natalie Dean this time with a Kota M for the US. 3rd best score so far. First one to go with 4 faults without time faults attached. Let's take a look at this,
you can
Kelly,
see,
from the angle.
This is a great camera angle. I mean, you see it just perfectly. The horse just took off a little left of center and just wasn't able to push off evenly and just touched the back pole. But the rest of the round she should be very happy with. And again, like you said, that horse probably has big things on the docket. Week 5 coming up with a 5-star and many other big Grand Prix.
And that's the reality. This is a big Grand Prix. There's going to be an even bigger Grand Prix in a few weeks, and a bigger Grand Prix after that, and a bigger Grand Prix after that. That's what we're looking at. 28-year-old Michael Hughes has been competing over in Europe, now returned to the United States, riding for the Sweet Oak Farm and Voquest. That's the Sweetnams and the Vogels. Shane Sweetnam and Pauline Dusahagen. And with the mare by Kodolemski, it didn't start so well. Now they've got plenty of space, though, at least to get things settled down.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a horse that doesn't have hardly any experience at this level. And Michael's this would be his 5th or 6th class with her. So it's a really new partnership. And I think he's probably going to call it a night.
Yeah, he's going to retire.
There's so much more than just the fences out here. The atmosphere is huge, and for a young horse, like you said, starting with a triple bar, it's a big fence to look at, and that wasn't the ideal start.
And you don't know. We can go and have schooling if we wanted to under the lights here and everything else, and that would all be well and lovely. But
it's not the same.
It's not the same when the stadium's full of people.
100%. But I think that's going to be a really exciting combination, and I think he was very smart. You don't want to upset them too much. Go back to the drawing board, and they'll be back in here in no time.
US rider Hallie Grimes now for Can We Keep It LLC of Texas, and so this is Chiquito PS.
This is a horse she knows really, really well. I believe they call him Tiny in the barn, which he's definitely not.
There's always an irony in some of the nicknames as well.
But he's a horse a little bit like Jimmy Tirano's horse, a horse with a big stride, big scope, but I would think Hallie's going to have to really be on the time allowed from jump number 1. Yeah, you can see she lands, moves right over to the 2nd jump.
And again, it's that interesting drawing you in, because you've got loads of space there, so you think, oh, it's a chance to settle in.
Yep.
But actually, you don't want to dawdle
Right.
nowadays. It's like you've got to be going somewhere.
Yeah, and I thought that I hope we get to see that on replay again. That turn played a part again.
Yes.
This horse maybe looked down into the base of the fence, which is what we were talking about before, and just caught the front pole on the way up.
Reaches across well there. Now settle into the triple.
That was great riding there. Just good reaction. The 5 got far away for her, and she was right there the whole time. I think we might be just over on the time
Yeah,
allowed.
I think we're going to be a little bit tight on that. We'll see. It's going to be about 76, something like that, I would say. Last fence is going to drop down. Takes a little look back at that. 76.87, 2 for time. It is just there with fence down. Well, 2 fences down for Hallie Grimes and Chikato PS, with the last fence added in the mix as well for Hallie.
Yeah, overall, really nice round, though.
Yeah, goes into 8th place overall. And again, for her, she's getting more and more of those Saturday night outings now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you were definitely right. The last jump is definitely not you're not home free until you're over it.
And I can tell you, looking at it, there aren't many holes left.
It's as tall as it can go.
Elena Haas, 21 years of age as well, and Elena with her own Claude. Again, lovely combination that have been together for a long time now. 13-year-old Westphalian gelding by Captain Jack. Jumped to the Nations Cup in Luxembourg, in Rosaire last season as well. They finished one in the 5-star Grand Prix in Tryon, when that was there as part of the Major League there as well. Second in some big classes in Spruce Meadows during the summer. They've been getting some good mileage together.
No, Elena and I were actually on the team together in Luxembourg and in Kilbergen. So I got the opportunity to get to know her much better, and she's just such a lovely young rider and really learning. And like you said, she didn't have so much experience until this year, and her and Claude have formed a beautiful partnership. And he's a really, really awesome horse. She did a really nice job there, go out and getting straight. Looks like she just was a little unsure of the timing there.
And again, it's about confidence and commitment, isn't it?
Yep. And I know they've been playing around with the bridle and the bit, different, feeling, and that's so much of it is the connection with the horse. If you don't have the right connection, then, little things will catch up on you. So just hold him a little straight. That was really well done. She did that really well. He jumped beautifully over the oxer, and then she just needs to stay patient. Little rub there.
Yeah, a little rub there. A little bit of time on top.
Yep.
It is 3 for time. 8 jumping, 77.01 for Elena Haas and Claude. As you say, there's still a little bit of finding which buttons to press.
Yeah, fine tuning, and like you said, at this level, it's not much. It's one little bit, and then you have a clear round, because 95% of that was really well ridden. He jumped beautifully. She just has to figure out that connection for that double, but the rest was great.
2 clears so far with Christian Kukuk and Checker 47, Nina Malave and Dynasty de Beaufort. Cian O'Connor now, and the Irish international with Carlswood Partners Iron Man. Horse is 12 years of age now, went superbly previously with Leopold van Asten as well of the Netherlands, and now this 12-year-old gelding by Charisma in the hands of the world number 14. Finished top 3 in the World Cup qualifier in Santa Anita. New show in California last year as well.
Yeah.
So
this is a horse that really caught my eye in the Nations Cup in Aachen, and obviously with Cian, it jumps amazing. It just looks like such a wonderful horse to ride. So modern, super light. Beautiful jump there. And again, I think Cian does a really beautiful job, just like Christian, of always moving towards the next fence. He's always thinking about the time allowed without rushing the jump. He ends up on 7, and he really has to ride. Super effort. You can just see around the corner too, he's saying easy with his voice, just giving the horse a second.
But that's where you've got to give the horse confidence to go, not when you have that split second go, ooh, what am I going to do? It's like we've got to make a decision.
Cian's instincts are spot on. You know, he gives, like you said, he gives the horse a second. Oh, that's too bad. Just looked like he pushed back on the oxer. But again, still a pretty relatively new partnership.
Steps over the planks. Just one time full to add to the mix as well. It's, well, actually 2 times to confirm that. 76.038, jumping 2 time, total of 10 there for Cian O'Connor. And Ironman turned back here into the Bainbridge fence. Clears that okay.
Yep.
Now this is exactly what you were talking about. Talk me through that. What was going through his mind and his ability?
Yeah, you know, he really did a beautiful job. He jumped the white oxer straight because he wanted 7 strides. So he made more room in the line instead of trying to go to the horse's momentum and take all the momentum away. As it was, he actually still got to arrive at the A element and add a bit of leg, which helped. And the horse gave a beautiful effort.
Gabriel de Manos Machado now, and it is for the Brazilian Niles. This is the Belgian-bred gelding, and for the Bay Winds Equestrian. And already had wins together in week 1. Going to be really interesting to see how this pair develop throughout the season as well.
Early fence, that's the first time we've seen jump 2 come down. But like you said, you're kind of galloping, there's a lot of space. Sometimes I find as riders when we walk the course, there's certain fences that we focus on or give a little extra time to, and I think jump 2 is not one of the more difficult parts of the course, but it's still a fence, it's still very tall, and it still can come down.
You don't want to walk out the ring and go, that was the fence I have down, and feel like, you know...
Didn't give it enough attention.
Why did I do that? Yeah.
Exactly. And he's really developed a super group around him. A lot of horses. I got to see him a few times on the major league circuit over the summer. And he's got 2 or 3 really, really exciting horses to jump this level on. He really had to sit back in 3. Yeah. I think he kind of was thinking that. Yeah, that line just got a little bit, the connection, he lost a little bit. You could see the 5 ended up being too long to the oxer, and then it pushed him too close to the 3, and then it was just a bit far out, so he ended up on 8. But a lot good to take away from that round for sure.
12 jumping 3 times, as you say, you just start to launch a little bit at the fence 2 from that point of view. It just starts to get a little bit far away.
Yeah, and you can really see he really tried with his upper body to bring the horse back, but it's 3 strides. It's very short.
Yeah. Ireland's Bertram Allen now, and Bertram with Conquest de Rigaud is the 9-year-old gelding, Belgian bred by Fantomas Dumuse for Bertram. Several-time big Grand Prix winner here, 5 stars. Week 6 he dominated for a number of times as well. Now for the Irish Olympian from the Tokyo Olympics, Ballywalter Stables Conquest de Rigaud, 16th in the order of the 45 in total tonight in this NetJets Grand Prix as well. Going to be really interesting to see, because of course he's had that big successes here with Bacino and Miro and so forth, but I mean he's just such a natural rider to take a run at this.
Yeah, and a wonderful producer of horses coming up. I mean, this horse is just 9 years old. This is probably the biggest track it's jumped. Really a huge amount of power off the ground this horse has. He gets the 6 very easy. And actually gets to just sit still in the double.
I was going to say, he sat calm there, didn't he?
Yep, he just let it come to him. He obviously trusts the horse very, he did a really nice job too there. Bertram has a beautiful connection with the horses. You can see at the last stride, he really softens and lets them jump up through the rein. Nothing is ever stiff or rigid. Now I think he just needs to sit quiet, little rub. And he, wow.
He's going to just have one
no.
time. 75-28 is one there for Bertram Allen. And Conquest de Rigo, little shake of the head, little ruining that one. But yeah, really did acrobatics at the last.
You have to, I mean, Bertram is such an experienced rider. I think in his mind he knew his horse had jumped such a beautiful round, but look at how high it's jumping. He ended up on 6 strides to the last because I think he thought, I need to go. And he did everything he could. I mean, the horse jumped a beautiful round. You saw, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
He has to be, obviously,
but he's
nobody
just trying
likes
to
the time
hold
fault.
back, and you want to be going forward, but he's somewhere in between that at that point.
I think he looks disappointed, but I know he's happy. In about 10 minutes, he'll be pretty happy. I know the feeling as a rider.
Let it digest.
Yeah.
Let it digest.
That horse jumped an amazing round. I think that's one to write down for the rest of the circuit.
Yeah, he usually turns up with some good horses that you will impress.
Yeah.
So still holding at the 2 clears now. Christian Kukuk and Checker and Nina Malave and Dynasty de Beaufort. Emily Contender, 24-year-old, again here for the combination that was second in the Grand Prix in Drammen in Norway, second in Chamorin as well in Slovakia. Portobello van de Fruitkhof is the ride for the Stefex Stables and Paul Swinnen there. By Bameko Demuse out of La Bamba. Finished also well in California. She was over-competing in California. Top 3 actually in their Classic, which is the Grand Prix of that week, the second week of the Major League Finals there as well. Second in the Grand Prix in San Miguel de Allende as well in Mexico on the Super Tour of shows there last autumn.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this mare. I think her and Emily have a beautiful partnership. She really tries super hard for Emily, and they trust each other a lot. I love the gallop from 1 to 2. She really just powered right down there. Great ride. My guess is that she'll do 6 to double. Yep. Super. Getting help from Helena Stormond and the whole team, and great turn there. And I think it's so important as a rider, your confidence makes such a big difference. And when you come off of a string of, like you said, she said so many top 3 placings in big classes, it gives you a lot of confidence in your horse to think, all right, I can do this. And you walk the course and think, this is a great course for me, or, you know, I trust my horse. She's giving a super ride. Time looks okay. Now just easy.
Oh. Got there. Got there. Whoa.
Wow.
71.93 as a time, so it's good for time as well. It is the third of the clears, Emily Contender and Portobello van de Fruitkhof, as they will go clear for the Stefex Stables team. Was looking good for time, as you said, did a really good job there. Just that little loss, they had to do a little bit of work there, but they did the work.
Yeah, she did the work.
They answered the question.
Yeah, no, she presented everything so well, and I think she was thinking stay wide for the 7, and then she actually ended up on 8, but she just sat still and trusted the mare, and she just, look at her jump up. Such a good mare. And I think, you know, she was so efficient around. She was our fastest in the first round so far.
Yes, 71.93. Yep, flew around from that point of view.
Yep.
They'll stay in that order, but it's good to see the time-wise, as you say, it's very achievable there. Tiffany Foster, former winner of this Grand Prix as well, winner last year with Bad Cry. Several former winners in the field here tonight as well, but she's one of the early ones to come up in the shake-up. Electric. Also was top 3 in Geneva in some of the big 5-star classes there. Second in the World Cup in Toronto.
Yeah.
Tiffany, silver medalist from the Pan American Games, of course. This for the 5 Roosters.
Yeah.
Electric.
Yeah, this is a horse she's had, I think, for 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
Been developing.
Was with Kent Farrington.
Yep. And the mare's just really come up the ranks and jumped, like you said, so many top placings last year. And she's an interesting mare because she's actually quite big, but she's very fast. Yeah, just rushed that a little bit.
And it's always finding that balance, isn't it? You want, assuming what you like, is a horse that's taking you somewhere.
Yes. I think most riders would agree that them taking you is much better than the alternative. You know, and she's such a lovely mare because, like you said, she's always thinking forward. And Tiffany can kind of say, all right, you know, place her at the right spots and just keep her relaxed. That was a shame because the rest of the round she's jumping really, really nice. Just maybe got to the 5 a little sooner than she thought. And like you said, that whole line is kind of connected at the end.
74.51, total 12 for Tiffany Foster and Electric. But Tiffany, again, has been having a quieter start. She's working into the season from that point of view. She's got the big classes. This is a big class, but even bigger classes on her agenda as well. And so just really starting to get the dust off and get them going. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think the strength of a great rider is to have your horse peak when you want it.
Yes.
And it's tempting to get drawn into every week here showing, but she has a plan in mind. Her team has set a plan, and they're going to execute it.
And you've got to sit and go, no, this is what we are doing.
This is the plan.
Yep. This is the plan.
Yep.
You know, there's always a few tweaks along the way, but Brian Mowgray of the USA now, and again, early 20s. Major wages, MTM Viva la Rêve. A little bit more experienced horse now, 16 years of age. She's won several World Cups on this horse, been a super partnership together. Won the Silo Ridge Grand Prix last year as well in New York, new show there. And also a second in the Socrates Grand Prix in New York Direction 2.
Yep. Yeah, Brian's a very talented rider with a lot of experience, and him and this horse have jumped all the big classes around the world with a lot of success, so he knows him very well. He's another horse with a lot of scope, but actually a lot of blood. So Brian has to just kind of keep him calm. And he actually, 2 years back, had some real major health issues that sidelined him for quite a while, but his team around him worked extremely hard to bring the horse back, and it's back at the top level of the sport, looking great. Super there.
That's the one thing you've got to have with horses more than anything, patience.
If you don't have it, they will definitely teach you. Now he just needs to really sit up here in 3. Time looks good. I think so. Yep.
Yeah. Just going to be enough by looks of it. Yep, 74.69. And so inside the 75, it's the 4th clear so far. Brian Mowgray delivering there with MTM Viva la Rêve. Looking good now as they come back into the season. As you say, they had a little bit of quite a layoff from that point of view, but good to see them back in the frame. Like they say, they had that lovely win up in the autumnal colours at Silo Ridge last fall as well. Brian Mowgray in the mix. Number 4 of this NetJets Grand Prix. He was in the pack listening to the wise words of McLean Ward, as was Lily Keenan, as they were preparing for this class. Lily with the Chanzonet Farmer New York's Le Louvre 5, the Westphalian gelding by Latour VDM, the 10-year-old for Lily. Finished well in the 3-star weeks as well. Again, the step up for this horse. She's got such a fantastic string of horses around her now, and really worked hard at developing that.
Yep.
Going to be interested to see how this pair go.
Yep. Yeah, this will definitely be their biggest class to date together, but with a horse with a lot of ability. I saw it over the summer in Socrates, like you said, jumping some of those 3-star Grand Prix. Big jump over jump 1. She really rides around that turn, gets a nice jump at the Black Oxer. Just looked like he got a little bit strong and drug her into the fence a bit. I think he's a horse that thrives with a lot of rhythm, a lot of pace, but it just looked like it just got a little bit too close. But like you said, only 10 years old. You know, it's that 3rd week of January, so really these horses just turned 10.
We start seeing ages now going, oh, you know, they've got
10.
so much more experience. Right. Well, actually, they're about two weeks more experienced than they were.
Right.
Just got a little out there.
Yep.
But again, this is, can't quite call them green mistakes, but it's
learning mistakes.
Learning mistakes, absolutely.
And like you said, a lot of really, really good things to take away from that round. I think sometimes as a rider, the score doesn't totally reflect the round. And I think as a rider, you have to reflect and say, my horse did a lot of things really, really well. We'll tweak this and tweak that and come out next week and try it again.
Total 12 there for Lily Keenan, and Luluva 5 at 72.32. Good for time from that point of view. But what were your thoughts that fencer just dropped there?
Yeah. She actually, what you were saying, she put a little bit too much bend, I think, and the horse went a bit right, and then it was hard to organize. She knew she had to go up in 5, so the horse just got a bit unbalanced. And a little bit the same at the last.
Jessica Mendoza now, and in the air, and if you've been following and watching WEF Weekly, remember, Wednesdays, 5 o'clock, you will have heard a little bit more background on this one. This Dutch-bred mare by Air Jordan, a 12-year-old. It's gone superbly so far this season. Won the Grand Prix qualifier out on week 2 as well. Was placed in the Grand Prix there too. And is really just nicely moving up from what she said the other day.
Yeah, this is a horse that Jessica thinks so much of. And she's got a lot of heart, a lot of ability, and very, very quick against the clock. Oh, that's too bad. Just looked like she made a big jump up and just didn't quite cover the back pole. That's an extremely wide fence. I thought that was, other than the triple bar, obviously that was one of the widest fences on the course from when I walked it. But sometimes you never know how these classes play out. I think this is a naturally quick horse. Sometimes a fast 4, you can still be in the ribbons.
Exactly, and looking at the prize money you've got on this, you want to just keep that.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, these two would naturally be a little bit pacey from that point of view anyway.
Sure. Yeah, super to the last 2.
Gave it enough. It was just though one down on the way, 74.204 there into 6th place for Jessica Mendoza. In the money at the moment, with In the Air once again. But like you say, this is a really nice looking horse. As you say a little bit earlier, just turned 12. Gave it a stretch.
Yeah. Looked like she was maybe just holding a bit for the front, and then it just didn't quite get across, but the rest was super.
Brian Canan now representing the USA. This his own and Mr. and Mrs. Bob Stiller's Armick. Long-time partnership here again, a 16-year-old gelding, the Oldenburg by Armitage 2. Finished one in the Tryon Grand Prix at the latter end of last year as well.
Yeah, Brian's a super nice guy, really, really hard worker. Always enjoy seeing him develop his horses. He really sticks to his own plan. Now getting some help from Lauren Huff. Yeah, and this is a horse he knows extremely well.
Yeah, always makes such a difference.
Really good there.
Yeah.
He actually went out a bit wider than some of the other ones, but really straight. A bit too close, yeah.
So sort of that coming out of that corner is a little you're just getting that little push out of it, that little ping out of it.
Exactly. This horse, you know, he has so much range that he jumps the fences so easy, but like you said, sometimes it ends up just a bit too much into the front, where he's pushing you into the front pole of the Oxers. Did a really nice job there. Great with the upper body, super straight. The horse gave a really super effort for the back rail there, and then maybe just ended up a bit too far out for the 3. Just inside the time.
Just inside the time, but it's going to be 12 though for Brian Canan, 3 down this time with Armick for the US rider. 74.43, a reminder of the clears so far. There's 4 of those on the card with Emily Conter, Christian Kukuk, Nina Malave and Brian Mogray of the clears to date.
It was almost actually still, like you said on the other ones, the horse was still moving into the fence.
Still traveling towards it, yeah.
Exactly.
It's finding that balance, and you can tell this better than I, of how you find that forward momentum, but enough that you're also getting them back to prop them off the ground.
Right, exactly. When they're leaving the ground, sort of off their hind end more than off their front end, I feel like you get a better jump. They're not dragging you so far in, and sometimes when that balance changes, it's hard to get everything back.
How is a rider do you sort of, how does that feel? Because that's not easy.
Yeah, it's a lot of control, you know, upper body strength. You know, we talk about this all the time. This is such a physical sport. You have to be so physically fit, physically strong. But a lot of it is the connection with the horse, the rideability. You know, the clear rounds that we've seen, they've had so much rideability back and forth. And Roberto is a great one to watch as well.
Roberto and Decisive, the horse he rode through to the Olympic Games, now 17 years of age, is super stallion that's been placed in the Rolex Grand Prix here. Already seen him go well this season with wins with Iron Maiden 2. But again, I mean, we're talking about strength, but we're not talking, you know, we're not talking about doing, you know, big weights in the gym all the time. We're talking about core strength, and a lot of it is also Pilates, is yoga and things like that.
Yeah. It's that balance of, you know, you want to be strong, but you also want to be light in the saddle. And I think the best in our sport, Roberto is a great example. Hendrick, obviously, coming up. They're very tall, but they ride extremely light.
Yeah.
That was a shame. This horse has so much stride. It maybe looked like the 2 just got a bit short for him. You can see even in the 5, he's balancing. But I think Roberto will be aiming this horse for some big things ahead. 5 stars and definitely week 12. So like you said, he's just getting started, just getting him in the groove again.
Well, going to be 8 faults there from that point of view. 73.01 for Roberto Duran here into the triple combination.
Yeah.
Now let's take a look as we hit the halfway stage of the clears so far, and it's a very tidy list at the moment of those going into the jump off at this point, and it is going to include the Olympic champion Christian Kukuk and Checo 47, Emily Conter in there with Portobello van der Fruitkopf, Nina Malavey and Dynasty de Buffon and Brian Mowgray and MTM Viva La Rêve on the clear list at this stage. So Tractor's about to head in. Water Tanker as well, just looming as well. And we hit the halfway stage of this NetJets Grand Prix. We're going to be back after a very short break. Well, welcome back to Wellington International and get to the halfway stage of our NetJets Grand Prix here tonight. Already looking very interesting indeed with a super lineup of those, thanks to NetJets once again, the worldwide leader in private aviation, offering an in-flight experience that is precisely yours. Every aspect of your imagination is anticipated, and every detail of your journey artfully curated. All while NetJets prioritizes your safety and comfort. The result, absolute peace of mind and luxury. Your moments become even more remarkable, and as soon as you step aboard, find your ideal travel solution at netjets.com. Dodd Technologies, thanks to them as well. They bring us our live stream each week as well. An industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate and special events as well. Visit them at doddtechnologies.com too. And to USEF, also a supporting sponsor of our live stream as well, in part with support of the US Equestrian Federation and the USEF network, powered by clipmyhorse.tv, as you can see. Thanks to them as well, as we bring you the action each week here from Wellington, and just getting set for our second half of this $215,000 NetJets Grand Prix. Let's take a look at those that have qualified for the jump-off so far, and a really interesting list of those that are in the mix at the moment. 4 of them at this point of competition. As I say, we may be doubling this up. We may be making it even more than that. Who knows? We will see. But we've got an exciting lineup. As we go in reverse order of the qualifying from the Adequan WEF Challenge Cup earlier on this week as well. So that sees the combination going last, which is a pretty big headliner in that it's Henrik von Eckermann and King Edward. But in the meantime, those that are in the spotlight are the Olympic champion, Christian Kukuk in Checker 47, Nina Malavey, Dynasty de Belfort, Emily Conter, Portobello, Van der Friedkopf, and Brian Mowbray and MTM Vive la Rêve. Those are the clears. We'll take a look at a few of those that got close with fences down as well in the shake-up of those that we've seen so far in the lineup. Last fence is going to cause its problems. Tanaka Rotkin there, who was our first to go, gives a shake of the head from that point of view. And then a little bit further down into the order, Nikki Galligan here with Vidiel Nakita, jumped well through the double. And it is also fenced down for Natalie Dean and Koto M. Just finishing on the 4 faults, puts them in 7th place in the moment of those completed so far. Hallie Grimes at the line here has the fence that a number of them have taken down as it started to unfold in the first half of this NetJets Grand Prix here tonight. And Elena Haas and long-time partner in Claude, a little bit unsteady through the double there, drops a couple of fences from that point of view, but recovered well. Keane O'Connor and Ironman developing this combination on this former Leopold Van Asten ride. Just has a fence stand coming out of the triple combination there. And for a few, the plank, penultimate fence, and the last all made things a little bit harder on a big evening here in Wellington as well. The turn into that double 2. Fence has been falling in a fair number of directions. Former winner Tiffany Foster, Lily Keenan, and Le Louvre 5 this time around getting some good experience. And it is in the air, but not quite enough for Jess Mendoza this time. It is 3 down for Brian Canan and Armick this time around, and that led us on to Roberto Turan to close out the first round here, just coming into the triple combination for Roberto, and it would finish on 2 down in total, including the middle part of the triple combination there as well. And so that's where we stand with our strongest group. It's hard to say that when you've got the Olympic champion gold medalist Christian Kukuk and Checker 47 in that first group, and they are a strong 4 of those as well. But as I say, strongest in the sense the best coming out of qualifying from earlier on this week too. Kelly alongside Kelly Crucioli van der Veen. What have you gleaned from the first half? What do you take from the second half as it gets tougher in there, and it gets some really big competition start to build up. We've got Laura Kraut coming up in that next half, comes pretty early on. Richard Vogel in the mix as well, if we're talking our top 10 riders. Dara Kenny, we go down to Ashley Bond, we've got Eduardo de Menezes of Brazil, final few sees Niall Nassar, Ken Farrington, and Henrik von Eckermann. So it's the world number 4 and the world number 1 in that final group as well. What do you think, to put it bluntly?
I mean, I think there's no shortage of talent at the end.
I miss
for
Ben
sure.
Mayer in there as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think it's a really fair course for the first 4-star of 2025. Peter Grant's done a super job. There's plenty of tests. There's plenty of places to make an error. But it's fair. It's great for the horses to get out first time. I do think we're going to see quite a few more clears just with the sheer amount of horse and rider talent that's coming up.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that's the group that we have so far. So we're going into jump off. Christian Kukuk would go first on checker 47. Brian Mowgray, MTM Viva la Rêve. Lovely, fast pairing. Great to see them back in the ring together and going great guns so far now into 2025 as well. Alex Granato is going to kick us off with a very strong combination that he's already won a number of 4-star Grand Prix on too. Overall, course-wise, what have you made of all of this, Kelly? Because they say they've been falling in different directions. Some of it really has been based on getting the turnbacks in the corners.
Yeah, I think the balance is very important in this course. I think you start to overthink the time allowed, and that makes you rush the turns, and then the fences sort of catch up with you. When you rush the corner, the fence is there, and they're all very, very careful, and he set them very strategically on a curve, like you said. It's okay to let them curve it, but if you lose the balance, then you get into some trouble.
And it goes back to the start of the sport. The bit that's not fun as well is the flat work, flat work, flat work.
The rideability is everything for sure. And like you said, the 4 that have jumped it clear, they've made the time very, comfortably. But the horses are extremely rideable. The forward, the back, the turning, it's all very easy. So it looks.
So it looks.
Yep.
That's hours and hours of working together from that point of view. But yes, and as you can see, time ticking away up on the Rolex clock, approaching nearly to 8:05 at night here in Wellington. It's thankfully warmed up a little, but I know it's been dreadful weather wherever you are in the world, so we hope you've all been safe and well, because it's been a really mixed bag wherever you've been. We've been cold here, but we've been lucky and it's just been a bit wet and cold, so we'll take that one from Florida, but it's going to give us a bit more of Florida's showing her best in the next week as well. So we're going to be out on the grass for that, thankfully, with some sunshine. But wherever you are, we hope you're safe and you've in good form. So down at the bridge, ready to go. David Burton, our sport director down there, raises the barrier, and in comes Alex Granato. Kismer Equestrians, Helios van der Nusse-Hiver, Dutch-bred stallion by numero uno, won the 4-star Grand Prix in Traverse City last year as well, won the Grand Prix here in November as well, and for the former Pan Am medalist, let's see how they fare, but also great run throughout the summer with Alex with this ride. Great to see him in there once again. Of course, and I mentioned a few weeks ago, Calcium W going back, had that super success, his World Cup wins, and this has been nicely developed. Nothing ever happens overnight with horses, but this is horses really now starting to come into that slot. Yeah,
for sure. Alex has really taken his time with this horse, and Alex is a very, very competitive rider. He's a very quick rider, but like you said, he takes his time developing them, but when the time is ready to shine, he really puts the pressure on, and this horse has risen to the occasion many, many times. So
again, he would be a good example of a rider, a horseman that has patience with the horses.
Absolutely.
I mean, this horse now, 13 years of age, some would be sort of, we've got to be further on this at that point, or wherever they need to be. He will let the horse be where the horse needs to be at that stage.
Absolutely. I think that's the hard part as a rider, is like you said, you want to get focused on what everybody else is doing around you. Stick to your plan, do what's best for your horse, and that always is the best plan to do. Great reaction there. The horse gets a little careful. Little rub. This 5 will get maybe a little long. No problem. really good rub on the out, but hopefully it's enough to just bring him home. Easy in 3.
Yep. Time's fine.
Time is plenty fine.
Loads of space there for that.
Yeah.
Gives enough space to the final fence, 70.66. And so clear there for Helios and for Alex Granato from that point of view. But as we alluded to a little bit earlier on, they've been a really consistent, and I think that consistency really came out in 2024.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like you said on the results, there wasn't too many Grand Prix that they jumped that they didn't place top 5, top 3. And like you said, you saw it tonight. The horse jumped a really super round, a little lucky there, but we all need a little bit of luck. So I think Alex will put, I know him as a rider, I think he'll put a lot of pressure on the field. He definitely won't go into the jump off for schooling, so.
Well, and it is to Laura Kraut now, the world number 22. St. Bride's Farms at Très Bien, now 10 years of age, by Toulon, horse that came through Tim Gredley and Joe Clayton, who rides with Tim's team. Some will remember Tim from competing here last year, the British rider.
Yep.
He's been over on the World Cup circuit back in Europe this season from that point of view. And great to see this combination. Went well in Santa Anita over in California too, and started well in Thermal. Out there now in the step up here for the Olympic silver medalist, of course, part of the team. Once again bringing home medals from Paris last year, as she does so brilliantly.
Yeah, this is a really exciting horse. She's had him for about a year now. Again, developed him slowly. That was a shame. He made such a big effort at B, just came down on the back bar. But, you know, Laura's in such a unique opportunity that her older horses have plenty of experience, and now these up-and-coming ones that are real superstars get to have a little bit of the limelight. So developing them for the future. Looks like he got a bit strong on her hand, and when she asked him to say, hey, let's be patient here, he got a little bit green and just misunderstood for a second.
And as she's doing that, just give him a pat.
Absolutely.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Laura's a wonderful rider to watch because she rides her horses with so much compassion and never hurries them or rushes them. And like you just saw there, she's letting him have a second, take a breath, and then we're gonna do it again. Yeah,
she's interesting. She's coming back to the triple combination. Comes through there well this time. Right the way through.
And it's important for the horses to finish on a positive note. She gave him a strong ride. He's jumping a great round. She'll learn from that.
Good positive finish. Absolutely. There we go. Gave some air at the last. And so for them, it's going to be 16 jumping, 7 time 81.39 for Laura Crouch and Très Bien Z. But as you said, really just a little bit of a communication issue there that will come with time. And again, you'll head back home and go, let's just run through that.
Yeah, absolutely. As riders, you know, you're going to watch that video and replay how the feeling was and just tweak this or that. And, you know, that horse is a superstar. So she'll be back, and I'm excited to see him develop through the circuit.
Absolutely. Little preview there who's coming up next. Ben Mayer, the world number 3, winner of this class back in 2023 with Dallas Vegas Batty. Of course, going on to Olympic success. He actually has won this twice, one in 2014 as well with Sella, which was brilliant. The horse for Jane Clark going back then, fabulous grey that was so fast, so effective, so athletic. Won some brilliant classes. French-bred gelding Anjou de Grecien today for Charlotte Roster and Pamela Wright. And this has been another one that's been so brilliant through World Cups and would give him a very big shot today for the world number 3.
Yeah, absolutely. She's just a beautiful mare with so much ability. And Ben's going to be one of those riders that we've been talking about with so much connection and rideability forward and back. He's able to ask things of his horses and have them react very, very quickly, but it all looks very smooth. Wow. I always tell my students it's such a unique opportunity being here in Wellington for 12 weeks, because when you have a free hour, just come to the ring and watch how many amazing riders we get to see in person. Just sit and watch what they do in the warm-up, sit and watch, you know, them ride a Grand Prix. They're successful for a reason.
And right there, this year you've got Henry Van Eckerman, you've got McLean Ward's going to be with us, and a whole list of Ben Mayer, all those throughout the season, the 12 weeks there, you'll be able to watch from that point of view. You really do this year have the best in the world. Come and watch it. You are missing an opportunity if you don't.
Look at it. I mean, this horse is just jumping this round so effortlessly, so beautifully. Beautiful.
And again, you watch that, and it just seems so smooth, doesn't it? But that's not by accident.
No, that's, like you said, hours and hours of hard work and effort and training to make it look that easy. And look at the time, perfectly judged.
Yeah, 74.02. But spending time with the two of you working together, isn't it? That's the thing. It's the patience in there of doing it, and as you say, the flat work, the understanding each other.
Yep. I mean, just look at that.
Yeah. No, but come and watch. Don't do what we all do here and say we'll all have dinner some time, and then we get to week 12 and we've never done it.
Right.
Make sure you start coming from even if you're not here tonight. Come over the next few weeks, and okay, they're going to be big, especially those 5-star weeks. But you have those opportunities during the week as well. The WEF Challenge Cup's on a Thursday when it's a little bit quieter in there. You can sit and watch. You can come in, enjoy it, and that's when to have a free lesson as well.
There's no replacement for watching. You can learn so much by watching these top riders, and like you said, the live stream is amazing, but if you can get here in person, it's even better.
Luis Fernando Razabal and Victoria Hadamata's Condara for the Venezuelan rider, the Panamanian-owned horse. For the horse he actually rode at the Olympic Games individually in Paris as well. There's now 13-year-old mare by Contagos, 15th at the Pan Am Games before that.
Luis is a great competitor. Super hardworking. I always see him on a horse riding at this show, at a different show. He's all over training. This is a mare that he's had for a while, and big success with her. Super turn there. Hear that voice just saying, hey, wait a second. Now he's getting her back. She's fighting him a little bit on that left turn.
And again, you just don't want to fall into that, do you? Just get into the turn 2 off the arc you want.
You know, it's interesting. That line has played more than I thought it would this whole round. I thought it would be the first half, and that second to last line has really caused some problems. He actually, like you said, you could see it around the corner. He was asking her to come back, and he got away with it at the Liverpool, but then that made the 5 too far away. And you could see him really trying to push and get up to it, but it just fell too far. But fastest 4 right now, so that's still...
puts him in 8th place at the moment from that point of view. So still in the money.
Yep.
Bertram Allen on the one time fault sitting in 7th place. The rest of them on the clears. And Anna Dryden now for the Double Meadows Team Knight. The Belgian-bred stallion by Gilbert. And competing over in Europe as well for Anna.
Yeah, Anna spends a lot of time in Europe and then here for the winters.
Doesn't sound a bad move from that point of view.
No, not bad at all. She always has a super group of horses.
Okay, it's been really interesting to see this horse getting into the bigger classes.
Yeah, you could see she was just, you know, I was just about to say he's a very long horse from nose to tail, and you could see around the corner she was just saying, trying to kind of gather him a little bit, and just ran out of room in that 4 stride. Really lovely, big stride, open canter. Very nice there. See the triple. just holding it together. Looks like it's just starting to get away from her, but she's doing a nice job of just organizing him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just he's getting a bit long. Very good at the last.
16 jumping time there as well. 78.28 for Anna Dryden this time, and Knight. And still holding then at the 6 clear rounds so far in this $215,000 NetJets Grand Prix. They got the lift in front.
Yep.
It wasn't coming behind,
Yeah,
was it?
exactly. Like we talked about previously, you know, when the horse leaves the ground a little bit on his front end, doesn't have that push to kind of rock back, jump a nice jump. So he kind of left a little bit on 3 legs. But she did a really nice job of organizing it, finishing the round positive.
US rider Genevieve Mayer now, and the G Sport horses, Milord Miles, the Holsteiner Gelding. That's 11 by Milord Carthago, placed also in Europe last year. Started well here in the United States too, but placed in Europe in the likes of Shamarin in Slovakia.
She's had some really nice results with this horse. Part of the team with Helena Stormond and everybody working really hard. And
again, she's now stepping up another level, isn't she?
Absolutely. Great reaction there. You saw her leg really straight, kept the horse right in the middle. Yeah, just started to get a little bit slow coming in there. But again, like you said, this is a step up for them for sure. So just gaining that valuable experience of these bigger jumps.
And also for a number of combinations, it's the consistency of jumping that level as well, as it will start to see that maybe with some of the 5 stars. That, okay, you get into a 5-star one week and you get a 5-star one week, and then you get maybe another one 10 weeks later. The combinations that get to do week in, week out, it becomes a very different prospect.
Absolutely.
But one of the pluses of coming here is that you'll get week after week of some big classes.
Absolutely. You know, this is a wonderful place to develop horses because, like you said, for 12 weeks you have a show. So you can really tailor make the horse's schedule and, you know, get them the experience they need. I still think that's a very, very well-ridden round. The horse jumps super. Just a few tiny, like you said, learning mistakes. But she's going to have a great circuit.
Yeah, just cuts down a bit sharp on that ox there. Again, some of that can be related to landing and thinking about what you're doing next before it's sort of finished the jump, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You saw a little there, the same thing, just thinking about the last element of the triple before jumping the second one.
Lucas Porter now, and Lucas with the Sleepy P Ranch's Viga Keta, the mare by Vigo de Sway, 13 years of age now for Lucas. Again, time-based over in the Netherlands as well. Here in the US, back for their US base. One in Riesenbeck last season as well, placed in Herning in Denmark in October.
Yeah, Lucas and his brother Wilton, they have a lot of experience, had a ton of experience as young riders, you know, junior young rider championships, Grand Prix, and then have been really developing these horses that they have now jumping at a higher level since they were 6-7 years old. So great to see that. Yeah, she just looked like she took a bit of a peek at the Liverpool.
Yeah, and then all the power's gone.
But then she said, "I'm still going."
Yeah.
So he'd make a nice circle. I think he's going to call it a night. And that's really a rider decision. I feel like it's very horse specific. If you feel like your horse, you know, going back to Laura Kraut's round, if you feel like your horse,
finished it off.
If you feel like your horse can improve and finish on a positive note, keep going. But if you feel like tonight's not my night and they're going to not finish a better horse than when they came in, let's start another day.
And that was interesting from Laura's point of view, because she wasn't coming back to a single fence. She was coming back to a triple combination. So she knew how the horse performs. She knew what had happened then and went, no, I'm confident that we'll be just fine. 24-year-old Michaela Langmeier to go now. The Rafferty Farms, Pepita van der Rolebeek now for Michaela. And the Belgian-bred mare by Otto Angelo, again now at 10 years of age. She was been top of the tree at Spruce Meadows before now. Last season, back in June, jumped on the teams for Major League as well last year.
Yeah, Michaela has a really great group of horses around her. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she has 2, if not 3, of the same. She has the family of this horse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she has a 7-year-old that's very closely related, the same mother, and maybe an 8-year-old as well. They all look the same too.
Do they get together for Thanksgiving or what's the?
They have a party.
Yeah, excellent. Little party in the barn. It's special carrots in November. Okay, let's get to the serious stuff of getting around this course.
She's done a really nice job of developing this horse. I saw it in Toronto, getting good experience. Michaela's a really hard worker, came up obviously through the equitation ranks. And again, these horses that you see now, she's had since they were young horses. So she's done a lot of the work, of course, with her team, her mom. She gets help from the Prudence. It's a big group effort. It's the first time we've seen that NetJets Oxer come down. Good reaction. But like you said, these horses are 3 weeks into their 10-year-old year.
Yeah.
So it is all learning. All the abilities there. Really super jump. I thought that was well ridden, really nice.
Yeah, it is. It's 8 full says 72.67. What I'm finding interesting is how often the last fence is staying up.
Yeah, in the beginning
not
of
so
it.
much that it's falling down, how much is staying up.
Yeah, absolutely. The riders are really figuring out that last line. She was, I think, the first one to have the front pole of the NetJets Oxer down. Looks like she actually got the 5 a little earlier than she thought. Yeah, you just see it up on the way there.
But again, I think we're pretty much at the stage everything has gone down at some point.
Yes.
Which is a good sign on a course
Absolutely.
design from that point of view. Richard Vogel of Germany, the world number 9, needing little introduction. The German Olympian who won so brilliantly here in Wellington. In fact, won last week in the Grand Prix there for a second time with Sidello. He's a Rolex Grand Prix winner here. He was superb, of course, with the fantastic United Touch over in Europe with the Stuttgart win in the World Cup there. And now goes with the 10-year-old stallion, Fenio van Het Keizerbos. And for Richie Vogel, I did a little bit of research on this week. Fenio means victory. It originates from Africa.
Okay.
So there you go.
I like it.
Hopefully it translates into more victories.
Yeah. Yeah, Richie brought this horse over for the tour in the fall, did some major league shows, and really kind of just produced him quietly, not too much pressure on results or rounds, and just let him go to the shows. Ended up on 7 there.
And that's the thing. I mean, he's been going backwards and forth. He's been working with McLean Ward as well, getting some help there. But great partnership there as well. Going to be really interesting. But he's got a team over in Europe, team here.
No, and you can see this horse has really matured. So just jumped into the B element instead of just making room. But again, he's learning. Jumping a really nice round. Very quick too. That definitely is our fastest four-fall time.
Yeah, 69.48. Never want to hang around. Richie Vogel goes into 8th place so far on the 4. Would like to be further up, but it is unfortunately one down with Fenio. But again, a horse that's just really moving into this level.
Yeah, and that's really, from what I've seen, the most comfortable I've seen this horse at this level. It did it very easy and looked very smooth and confident. So, like you said, I'll be interested to see that horse in a few weeks' time.
And I know everybody gets excited with Richie sort of seeing United Touch, but I mean, he's got such a range of horses. And has turned up here with some we've seen in the fall and the winter, and you go, okay, I know that. Oh, hang on, there's another
one.
There's another 1, 2, 3 of them.
Right.
Las Vegas and all those. Michael Duffy of Ireland, Canto 32, works with Helena Stormans as well. Great partnership there. Finished well in the recent World Cups in Basel as well. Was top 3 in the Super Grand Prix as part of the Global Champions Tour final. This is a horse he rode to top 3 in Shanghai in the Grand Prix there as well. Canto 32, the Westphalian by Giacchini. And Michael, we've seen here a few times in the past. He's sort of split his time between Europe and America through the WEF circuit before now.
Yeah, Michael's a rider with a tremendous amount of feeling on a horse. I think there's not a type of horse that he doesn't ride well. Light, big, small, all horses really jump well for him. You can see how soft he is with them. This is a little bit of a lighter horse. Like you said, he has experience, and he's kind of done a nice job of planning the schedule.
Yeah.
Just gets a little bit forward in the 6 strides. We've seen that jump come down quite a lot. Really nice there. Really nice through the triple. Yeah. Plank comes down again. The last.
So it's going to be 12 in total, 72-64, and make a return to the big ring here in Wellington. Michael Duffy and Canto 32, as they'll finish on a dozen for Michael.
Yep.
Again, they just start to get a little bit forward
Yep.
in you know, again, keen into that double.
Yeah, just a little bit on the go, and then those last 2 jumps come up very, very quickly. But I think the horse is jumping nice. He's very fresh. He's got plenty of energy for the season ahead. And I think this class also would be a good gauge for the riders of, okay, with my plan that I have, do I need to do more? Do I need to do less? You know,
Yeah.
kind of planning out what needs to happen.
Spencer Smith of the USA, Georgina Bloomberg's Kibel, the Hanoverian mare by Quaid. She was down watching down from the in-gate. Good luck to them. And, of course, part of their New York Empire team as well was our Spence, who was also on the team that was the winning squad. That was with Keeneland at Dublin last year as well for the team. And a horse that he's actually ridden before at the Nations Cup final in Barcelona.
Yeah, Spencer's been together with this horse for a few seasons now. Knows her very well.
34th of 45 in the first round.
Yeah, great reaction there. She got a bit slow and made a nice jump at 2, and he was right there saying, come on. She maybe just looks like she's looking around a little bit at the crowd. Opts for the easy, steady 7.
So far. Let's see with this triple combination, just trying to give them space in there.
Really, he did a really nice job, just out and straight, presenting it to her really nicely. You know, all these riders, especially when you go towards the end of the class, they kind of know in their head how many clears, how many fast 4s. So once you've had 1 or 2 fences down, you think, okay, let's make this academic round finish up really nicely, and she did. She finished up great.
Jumping 2 times, 77.66, or 3 time in fact there. But as you say, she finished much better than she started.
Absolutely. I think it was just maybe a little distracted because the 2 fences she had down in a row were just right on the rail with the crowd. And then, you know, after that she focused in and jumped a beautiful round.
And you can see Spencer's face as she's coming in there, just like, go on.
Uh-oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. But as you say, finished strongly there for Spencer Smith. And Kibel, another who's been making a big mark over the last few months especially, and was on the squad for the Olympics in Paris, Carlos Guerrero. Pairing that finished at top 5 in the San Miguel Grand Prix in San Miguel del Allende, in the beautiful spot down there in Mexico, where they have a series of shows as well. H5 Oragi Horter has been actually doing superbly on a whole list of the horses from the H5 team so far this season. He was top 10 last week as well in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, he has a super string of results. Really awesome team around him. And this horse actually, I haven't seen so much until the fall. And then I did a little looking, and it actually is a very famous mother as well. The gray that Kean used to ride. Jumped on many Nations Cups. And
and he's Horter.
Yeah. But Carlos has really gotten confident and comfortable at this big level. You can see he jumps these classes very easily now, and he had a super debut at the Olympics. I think he does a really super job. He's a very, very tall rider, and you can see there, that's a great example. He's very in control of his upper body and how it plays a part in the balance of the horse.
Yeah, total 12 this time, 73.50 for Carlos Sancarero on H5 Orgy Horta, but even for him, you can see things just start to get a bit strong and not quite happening there.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see here just pushes into that a little bit, catches it on the way, actually with the front pole with the back legs, and then here, good control here.
Let's take a look at Carly Anthony and the portfolio horses Heavenly W. Finished top 5 in the World Cup qualifying Washington last year in the fall. The Dutch-bred horse by the gelding by Calvaro FC for Carly. Second in Santa Anita in some good classes there. Went very well in back in July in Socrates and won the 3-star Grand Prix there as well. This was out of our 5 to watch as well. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Carly has had some really consistent results on this horse, and it feels like every time she comes out, the horse gets better. She's a super hard worker. They have a great partnership. Does a really nice job there, moving to the next fence to hopefully take care of that time allowed. Beautiful ride. Yep, super. She has great eye control. You saw she was already looking at the skinny before she really even landed from the double. Yep. Get organized. There, I think you can see the level of trust that those two have, because on the way you thought, oh, is it just unraveling a bit? And she just stayed calm and collected, and it was a nice jump out. Oh, shoot.
Yes.
That was too bad.
Time-wise going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's 71.68. They'll go into 9th place so far, just with a 1 fence down for Carly Anthony and Heavenly W.
You saw she was just almost thinking about the plank and just stretched up with the upper body, and the horse just reacted a little too much, a little too quickly, and just came down on the back rail of the oxer.
It is such a split-second balance, isn't it?
Yeah, stay down too long, and then you're too far into the tree. Stay up too much, and the sport of perfection.
And exactly, and the reality is watching it, you can't just sit there and go, okay, I'm going to land.
Right.
What am I going to do now? Oh, I'm eating timber at that point. Yeah, it's you've got to be thinking so far ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how it translates in all what's happening in your head to what's happening to you physically, that you don't always want all of that to translate.
Right.
One who's brilliant at doing it is Dara Kenny. Dara Kenny, the world number 18 right now, the Oakland Training and Sales 0K, former rider Martin Fuchs, actually. Mare that's Danish bred by Canaan for Dara. Dara's actually a twice winner of this Grand Prix, 2018 2019. Comes off the back of winning the World Cup qualifier in London. He's actually gone superbly with this horse here in Wellington in the early weeks too. So I'm going to be really interested to see how this one steps up here.
Yeah, he's had a few new partnerships this season, and this is one of them. I haven't had the opportunity to see it yet. Looks like a lovely type of horse. Plenty of stride. Plenty of power out. I think after that double, you really saw Dara's experience. He landed quite far, and he didn't panic and make a very short turn back on the skinny. He let the horse travel forward straight and then made a nice turn, trusting that the horse is quick enough, and he's been efficient everywhere else. He doesn't need to make a risky turn back to the skinny. Yep, super. His timing was super there.
Yeah.
Ends up on the 8. Yeah, beautiful.
It'll work. It'll work. There we go. Dara Kenny, 0K. 0 score for Dara this time around as well. And so he goes to the 7th clear of our lineup so far. So we've Alex Granato, Ben Mayer, and now Dara Kenny into the second half here.
Yep.
again, as you say, it's that one we were leading into it a little bit, but a really good example of. I mean, the man has amazing natural ability as well, but what I'm going to say is instincts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gives the horse what it needs exactly when he needs it. There's no stiffness. There's no. He's not thinking about what's happening. He's just feeling what's happening.
Yeah. There's an interesting argument amongst the sporting world of whether anything is natural, whether it's all about how many hours you do and training and what exposure you have.
Yep.
I'm not saying which way I either subscribe on that, but I'll talk to some experts on that at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll do an interview. Ashley Vogel now for the VoQuest team. Otis Blue, the Belgian bred gelding by Jaguar Van Pemel. Horse that actually Shane Sweetenham rode in Aachen last year. Of course, she works very close with Ashley. They got some great. They got horses together, in fact, as well.
Yep.
Finished one of the Grand Prix, the likes of Silo Ridge. She jumped superbly in Lucia last season as well with Mandiba. But again, it's not so easy to see from this angle. But I mean, they just look to turn and get a little close to it.
Yep, absolutely. And like you said, it's not. Like
she's
everybody's up.
Yep. She's up.
Yep.
She's up. She's okay.
Yeah, exactly like you were saying. It's hard to see on the live stream, but that oxer is very short and deep into the corner, so there's not really a whole lot of strides to get to it. And
Otis Blue's just having a little tour of the arena. They'll settle down in a moment. They'll be fine. But
it's having a little
just down at the end. In fact, I think they might. No, they're just having a little stretch at the moment, but they're a-okay.
Yeah.
Both a-okay from that point of view. But it's a tough sport. That's the thing. Derek Kenny gave us the 7th of the clears so far. Let's remind you: Alex Granato, Emily Conter, Christian Cookhook, Derek Kenny, Nina Malave, Ben Mayer, Brian Mowgray on the clear list so far from that point of view. They're just going to let Otis Blue have a little tour. What usually happens is they then start to spot their groom and go, okay, just calm down. I'll have a little look around.
He wants to have a little extra turnout time right now.
Yeah, just going to have a little stretch out there. So we'll just give them their time. Let's reflect, Kelly, on the clears so far, because obviously you're going to have Christian Cookhook going early. We've seen Dara Kenny coming into the equation, Ben Mayer coming into the equation. We've still got the likes of Niall Nassar, Kent Farrington, Henrik von Eckermann to come in there. There's a little rundown of the clears so far from that point of view. I'm going to be really interested to see. I think so much of this depends on what Christian Cookhook does.
And you can definitely correct me if I'm wrong, so do it.
No.
I believe in the Olympics, was he not first to go in the jump off as well?
He was, yeah.
I'm not saying it's the same thing, but I think sometimes
straight back in Paris right now.
Yeah, I think sometimes with a horse with that experience level and a rider like that, it's almost better to go first because they just do their plan, they lay it all out and put the pressure on.
It's fascinating talking to riders about it because everybody gets very, if you're last to go, you know what you've got to do, and there is a certain advantage to that. But a number also said to me, I like going first.
Absolutely.
I like going out there, I've got my plan, I've got my structure of what I'm going to do, I'm going to go straight for it,
100%.
and then you're going to have to, and it forces the others into mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially a rider and horse combination that have so much experience together. I think sometimes when you don't know your horse, you're not really taking as much risk. He knows the horse. He's going to take plenty of risk, and he knows what it takes to win at this level. But then you have, young riders that are hungry for a win. Alex Granado, Nina Malve. They're definitely not going to be playing it safe. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see a little bit the strategies.
Yeah. Otis Blue, as you can see, is still just having a good old stretch around there. Just keeps doing the circle.
He's staying at the far end, so that's good.
He's getting closer and closer, and Shane's down there, and Ashley and the team. And
sometimes it's
again, they're not going to do it. There we go.
Got him. There we go.
A little bit of wrangling. There we go. Caught by Ashley as well.
Good.
So
little pat.
Yeah, little pat. Don't worry. Shane Sweetenham just behind.
Like you said, it's a hard sport, but there's always another round. There's another day. Tomorrow's a new day, and they'll be back better.
There I can see Chris Elliott, who's the vet on duty tonight, just giving them a little look over from that point of view, and that should be pointed out. They're all absolutely all on hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And an amazing lineup we've actually got of not just riders, but behind the scenes teams from the team from Palm Beach Equine Clinic and so forth here, and they're vets that are involved with the sport around the world as well. They've got great experience.
Yep.
There's the jump-off qualifiers so far. It's Derek Kenny who's the most recent with 0K from that point of view. He's our 37th in the order. 38th there was Ashley Vogel. So we got 45 in total in this class. So we still got what we got coming. Tyser Irwin, we've got Ashley Bond, Eduardo de Menezes, Mark Blumen, Niall Nassar, Kent Farrington, and Henrik von Eckermann. And for those of us that were watching the qualifier earlier on this week, Kent Farrington, usual top round from him.
Yep.
Henrik von Eckermann just popped it round and said, I got
just a few left that maybe could jump a clear run. Just a few.
Just a few.
Know?
We've got, yeah.
And I mean, not that it makes a difference.
5 Olympians are there by my quick maths. Yeah.
The interesting thing I think is Hendrik is also riding, obviously, King Edward. He's fresh because he rode Glamour Girl on Thursday.
Yeah.
So playing a little bit of strategy there. But Kent is riding the same horse, and so is Niall, and I think everybody else. So interesting to see how that strategy plays out.
You can just see them through the warm-up there.
Yep.
Actually, you can see Henrik going past because he's the one with the armband on because it signifies he's world number 1. It's over 30 months now he's been world number 1. There was a time when he wasn't world number 1 in the sport. I don't think I can actually remember it anymore.
No one can remember
which
it.
Which is a really amazing feat.
It is amazing.
Tyser Irwin rides on in the Australian, again, Olympian. Higher Lead to Be, the Dutch-bred mare by Emerald for Mike and Wendy Smith. Top 5 in 3-star Grand Prix this time last year as well. Several successes previously here in Wellington for the Australian. Now, just to calm things back down a bit.
Yeah, Tice is a super hard-working, great rider. We actually got to spend the summer together at Emil Hendricks' farm in the Netherlands, so we got to know each other very well. And this mare she's so much quality, but she's definitely a chestnut mare. She likes her people, and
are you saying chestnut mares have character?
They have some spirit, and she does have spirit. But Tysa does a really super job with her. You know, she's all business when she's in the ring, and she jumped a Nations Cup in Rome, and they got a lot of experience, and then the Olympics. She's a really fun mare to watch, too.
Yeah.
She's so light. She does have to think a little bit about the time allowed. She spends a lot of time in the air. The last 2 5-star Grand Prix, she's jumped clear just with a time fault. So I know she's going to want to improve on that score. Just a little wider there.
And doing that, you're expecting to try and make a bit more space, but.
And you have to, as a rider, obviously knowing your horse, risk reward, like you said. If you go out a stride, does it produce a better jump? And sometimes you have to weigh that.
But then you talk about watching. Go at the end of this class, go back and watch Christian Kukuk's round, and see him turn up a couple of strides out, and then have all the power there to go. How different that looks at the very, very, very top level.
Absolutely.
And that is exceptional. That's not, and that's not a norm.
Right.
You can try and train for that.
And I think sometimes there is a little bit for some riders of going towards the end. Sometimes you overthink.
Yeah.
And you overdo the things that maybe you thought, okay, I need to give a little space here or here. You start thinking, oh, do I need more or do I need less? Or it just ride your plan and look like that. Maybe that's just a little what happened. But also the horse, I think this is first Grand Prix of the year, and she's fresh and looking very good. Jumped a nice round.
Ashley Bond. Going to be really interested to see this 9-year-old.
It jumped.
Nightwish.
In my opinion, it jumped the first round on Thursday. Maybe my favorite. It was absolutely flying. And Ashley's done a really good job talking about slowly producing a horse.
Yeah, I watched this horse a number of times in 2-star last year as well.
Yeah.
As obviously they were in that
Right.
level, a little bit into the edge of the 5 stars from that side of things, but you know, in the smaller classes. But again, it's a horse that's going to develop into a very good horse.
Absolutely. And you see, just fence 2 comes down just from a bit of, like you said, connection and lack of experience together. Tons of atmosphere here tonight. This is definitely the most energy he would have felt as a horse. But Ashley's going to keep going and give him a super ride. And they jumped a super double clear on Thursday. And with these younger horses producing them up, we call it in our stable climbing the ladder. You have to climb the ladder and engage and push and then back off a bit. And she's saying, all right, I think that's probably enough.
Well, the sport's more snakes than ladders, isn't it? More than just ladders. We're not all firefighters out there.
It's true. It'll be interesting to see if she comes back to the triple. Yeah, looks like we're going to come back to it. Yeah, super.
Again,
Beautiful.
same strategy as Laura Crack said. No, let's
take a
let's go
second.
back. We'll be all right.
Yep.
And again, you can see plenty of raw ability.
Oh, yeah. And in my opinion, he's leaving a better horse than he came in.
Yeah.
And that's what you want as a rider, especially developing a young horse.
So it's going to be 20 for jumping and time on top of there as well. But as I say, it's part of progression for Nightwish and Ashley Bond this time. And yeah, they land with a pole, and the horse just is looking for space at that point.
Absolutely. And a lot of times these younger horses, you know, they have so much ability and so much talent. When they make a mistake, they kind of hold their breath for a second, and then if the fences come just as quick, so it's hard to kind of say it's okay, it's all right, just keep going.
Eduardo de Menezes now of Brazil, and Hot and Spicy, 13-year-old mare that was went very well in the Grand Prix of Valkenswaard last season. Saw this one, I think it might have been down in Mexico last year as well. And she looks very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, say she's 13 now.
Yep.
So she's
plenty of experience.
She's ready to run. But again, you'll find the right time and the right spot.
Yep. Eduardo's another really beautiful rider to watch.
And again, like you were talking about with Roberto Duran, etc., you know, he's a tall guy.
Yep. But so light. He rides extremely light. You see how he's soft in the saddle. He's never sitting heavy. And he himself has so much experience, so even if they don't have a lot of experience together, he's going to give her a nice ride. He made a beautiful turn to that oxer. Wow. Great control. For all of our equitation viewers, Eduardo does a beautiful following release. If we're splitting hairs, he really has this exceptional feeling of, you know, 2 reins on one hand on either side of the neck and just following the horse. And you can really see it clearly because he is so tall.
Yeah.
Oh, hurry.
Yeah. No,
Come on.
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be one time. 75-61. One there for Eduardo de Menezes. Hot and Spicy. So close. Just goes into 9th place on the one-time fault there for Eduardo. But as I said at the start of this, she's interesting because she's 13. She jumped some bigger classes last year, and now really she's just finding her stride in these big arenas.
I was just about to say I really enjoyed watching that round because none of it felt rushed.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately he had the time fault, but again, that was a beautifully ridden round. He gave the horse exactly what it needed. He was, you know, .6 over the time. He'll clean that up for next time and be right in there.
4 left in the game now. Colombia, Egypt, USA, and Sweden. Mark Blumen now for Colombia. The over-the-top stables of New York's Ubiluk. The gelding by Obiko. super winners before now. They finished well in the World Cups of Washington last season. They were top 3 on the podium in the $1 million class at Thermal as well for the Coachella Cup. He was top 3 in the Week 1 Grand Prix as well. And whether you're Christian Kukuk or not, if he's going in the jump off,
you're going to go for it. Yeah.
He's not going to give it to you.
No. You know, Mark and this horse have very similar personalities. They love to go fast and they love to win. So he's definitely...
Yeah.
Oh, lost a stirrup here. No problem.
No problem. It just... I don't think he's even...
He doesn't need it.
I was asking JJ Tarano about his lessons without stirrups earlier on this week. He's got it back.
Yeah,
but again, at that point, it's a shame.
Yeah.
At that point, you've got to not literally flap.
No.
Just let it come.
Yeah, don't panic. Just keep cantering, keep on your plan, because sometimes then if you're so focused on getting the stirrup, it really interrupts the rhythm of the whole round. You do wonder a little if that played a part of it, because the first half of the course was so, on it, and then it just started looking a bit not as together. He said so many top rounds, so that's not characteristic for them.
But they were back together here in the triple combination. It was his middle part here, and just almost starting to run out of space by the looks of it.
Yep.
And again, that vertical, you're almost trying to turn across it a little bit, aren't you? And some have just gone, no, I'm going to go straight and get out and get space. And others are trying to sort of shape it a little bit more. And when you're shaping it, you're just losing a touch of the height.
Absolutely.
Now Nassar, winner of the Week 1 Grand Prix, the Southern Arches Grand Prix, ASI Ali, with the Irish bred gelding by Staccato Gold. Now, can he pull it off? Again, he was top 4 last week in the Grand Prix with Paso Doble as well. Now, this is a pair that won the 2-star Grand Prix in Greenwich, so another step up. But as I say, they've proved in the last few weeks they can make that step up now. And again, more months down the line, because that was back in September.
Niall's another one that just really quietly produces horses and sticks to his plan, lets them develop. And I really like this horse. He didn't ask too much of him too soon.
Yeah.
Developed him slowly, Spruce Meadows, and like you said, in the fall. And then here, he's really just starting to shine. I think we're just starting to see the beginning of what their partnership is going to be. That was too bad. The horse maybe just took a little look into the Liverpool, just got a bit away from him. Making super effort, though. Yeah. Just rushed it a little bit. Yep.
Very easy to say up here.
So easy to be a couch critic.
I like that one.
Yeah.
There we
that
go.
Finished really nice.
Yeah, finishing on 8-fold, 71.60. Top 20 for Niall Nassar and ESI Ali, like we say. Just getting those moves up and won the 3-star Grand Prix. You're coming into a 4-star Grand Prix, another step. And this one, when you look at a little softer maybe technically, but not that far away from 5.
No. I mean, there's very, very small differences between this and a 5-star Grand Prix, especially at this 12-week circuit with all these amazing horse and rider combinations.
Well, there was a good battle for the qualifier earlier on this week. Ken Farrington up against Henrik von Eckermann. We're returning to that with 7 clears so far. Potential for 9. We've got the world number 4 and then the world number 1. Ken Farrington of the US with Hetty McNerney's Myla. And this is the Holsteiner mare by Crunch 3. He was a Grand Prix winner so many times here, Kent, but actually comes on the back of a Grand Prix win in Ocala last week as well, so it's always good for the confidence. Winner here of this Grand Prix back in 2021 with Austria 2 on that occasion as well, but with Myla now. There was actually with Sergio Moya at one point of Spain. He was a former winner of the Rolex Grand Prix here too. Different horse, of course, on that occasion. Now this 10-year-old mare.
This is another horse that is a very Kent type of horse, super light, very thoroughbred-y almost.
Athletic.
Yep.
Fast.
Quick. Really super there. So she doesn't have so much stride, so he was able to do the 7 into the double quite easily. Gets the 5 done. Super. Now he just has to sit patient.
This repair that was second in the Paris Grand Prix.
Yep.
Last season.
I would say in the second half, B of the triple has really come down quite a lot. And again, a horse that's not very old, so yeah, she's just learning. Even though she's had some super results, this is still a big level for any horse. That was still a good round.
So remaining at the 7 clears, 1 left to go in this NetJets Grand Prix first round from that sort of thing. Let's have another little look back at this triple combination, Kelly.
Yeah, just caught it maybe on the way down.
Not a lot wrong, basically.
No.
Lovely to see this pair. It is Henrik von Eckermann, the world #1, with the horse that's been so key to the world #1 spot, the twice winner of the World Cup finals, the horse he rode to Olympic team gold, to the World Championship, King Edward, now 15 years of age. And great to see them out here. They were jumping indoors in recent months in the World Cups. They did a few of those and decided they were going to give that a little bit of a break. And he's been just quietly jumping King Edward here. Jumped into some smaller classes in the last week or so, and now just getting him a step up back into the Grand Prix again to enjoy being out in here in Florida on a big arena.
Yeah.
He won the qualifier, of course, with that Glamour Girl so effectively as well. But I mean, it is just a joy to be able to watch this pair in action. We got to see Checker earlier on with Christian Kukuk. You're seeing arguably one of the best combinations the sport's seen as well. And again, as you say, he's not a big horse.
No, and you can see he just puts so much effort into every fence. Wow. It's one of those rounds you just get to enjoy. Just sit back and... Oh,
that's gone.
Shoot. I was just going to say little rub.
Like it just dropped a back toe on that from that point of view. But I say it's really been for King Edward to enjoy jumping out here.
Sure, absolutely. And I think it's a huge testament to the shows that are being put on here for 12 weeks that we draw so many fabulous international rider and horse combinations. There are amazing shows, and there's 12 weeks of them.
And they're going to get bigger.
Yeah,
they're going to get bigger. They're going to get bigger. It is 8 faults there, 74-31 for Henrik von Eckermann and King Edward this time around, but great to see them out there. It is taking us to 7 clears, but a little look back here, Kelly.
Yep.
Triple combination was one that cost NetJets fence there. Just a little pop at it.
Yeah, he actually got the 5 quite easy.
Yeah.
And then maybe just got there a little easier than expected. And it just... Then maybe just pushing a little to the corner there. Hard to tell.
Yeah. Not a lot wrong.
No.
Not a lot wrong. But the key thing is sit back and enjoy it. So let's enjoy this, because we are going to start with Christian Kukuk and Checker, the Olympic champions, starting off the Grand Prix for this NetJets Grand Prix tonight. Nina Malavé of France, Dynasty de Belfort, Emily Conter, Portobello, Van der Fruitkoff, Brian Mergret, MTM, Viva la Rêve, Alex Granato and Helios, Ben Meyer, Anjou de Grossienne. Ben with another chance to win this Grand Prix. He's been a past winner of this on 2 occasions from that point of view. And one remains with Dara Kenny and Zirika. Interestingly, we didn't have a clear after Dara because we were then really into the strongest, almost 10, it was about 8 from the Grand Prix qualifier as well. So Dara Kenny gets pole position going last again. We saw him win a couple of weeks ago very nicely on this horse as well. So he is in prime spot for this. Going to be a tough one. to pick this through. And like I say, I think we'll pull it all apart, but I think a lot is going to depend on what Christian Kukuk does to start things off here as well. We're going to take a little breather from commercials in a moment, but out to see their T-shirt toss going on. Great to see so many people out there in the crowd as well. Make sure you join us over the next few weeks as well. Big one to start really into the game is going to be for the top sport. Is going to be the competition for the Fidelity 5-Star Grand Prix on week 5. So that's not next week, it's the week after. Next week's the Great Charity Challenge. Come and join us for that. It's loads of fun. And it is thanks to all of these people that we bring this competition to you. It's the USCF, who are a supporting sponsor of our live stream, in part with support of US Equestrian Federation and USCF Network as well. And also our thanks to Dodd Technologies, who bring us the live stream, an industry leader in creative design and technology support services for sports, entertainment, corporate and special events. Visit us at doddtechnologies.com. And of course NetJets as well. NetJets, the worldwide leader in private aviation, offering an in-flight experience that's precisely yours. Every aspect of your imagination is anticipated, and every detail of your journey is artfully curated. All while NetJets prioritizes your safety and comfort. The result? Absolute peace of mind and luxury. Your moments become even more remarkable as soon as you step aboard. Find your ideal travel solution at netjets.com.
Adventure began with your makers of wishes come true. If only they anticipated every aspect of your imagination. They would remind you that surprises are for the child in all of us. Help you celebrate successes and ensure all your milestones are absolutely unforgettable. What if only was possible? It is with only NetJets.
A bottle of Chrome Horse Society tequila is the sign that you are in the right place at the right time with the right people. It is tequila redefined. Unapologetically modern and always a ride to remember. Chrome Horse Society tequila is the official tequila of the 2025 Winter Equestrian Festival. Please sip responsibly.
Welcome back to Wellington International, preparing for the jump off of the $215,000 NetJets 4-Star Grand Prix here tonight. Final preparations underway, and we are in for an exciting lineup. Myself, Steve Wild, alongside Kelly Cruciotti van der Veen. Kelly, what have you gleaned from this? What are you looking forward to? What's coming up here?
Yeah, really exciting jump off coming up. We've got an interesting mix of experienced combinations with some younger riders mixed in. So I think it's going to make for a very, very competitive and fast jump off. And I actually don't know which way it's going to
go. Well, some fantastic clear rounds having come out of that first round. We'll take a look at those and see what came out of that. Of course, little surprise that Christian Kukuk and Checo were part of that. And again, they just showed how they were able to go and win that Olympic gold medal, because there was just so much control there. Again, I was lucky enough to see that up close in person, and that's what you needed. Nina Malavey impresses me every time as well here with the Rain family's Dynasty de Beaufort, as the young French rider, 24 years of age, is throwing herself into the mix there again with another beautifully produced round, as does Emily Conter of the Stefex Tables, Portobello Van der Fruitkorf, and same age, same experience, and same results as she comes out with a clear as well. And 24 is the number, because Brian Mowgray is saying that I highlighted the under-25s in here a little bit earlier on, quite a few in the field here. Major Wagers, MTM Viva La Rêve have all the ability. Alex Granato and Helios, again, have shown great consistency last year as well. This is right in their ballpark to be able to produce a good round here as well into this jump-off. They could be one that jump out of the pack. Little touch there coming out of the WEF set of fences. And of course, Ben Mayer, twice winner of this Grand Prix, this time with Charlotte Roster and Pamela Wright's Anjou de Gressien. Needs little introduction for the world number 3. They have all the tools needed. It's a question of what's being produced by the rest. But the man that comes up behind them is Dara Kenny and 0K. And that might be the biggest danger for all of them down at the end, because he's not going to leave much on the table, is he?
No, I think sometimes they obviously don't have a lot of experience as a partnership.
We're going to have a look at the course of what lies ahead as we look forward to this jump-off round, and we'll head right up to the arena, right up to the other end of the arena from the entrance, to Fence 4 to start us off over what was the Wellington International fence, the WEF fence there, and then to new fence 15, the horseshoes there at the now Oxa, actually, they've brought that into play. Fence 12, which was the plank, turn back there from the vertical all the way around to fence 8, the NetJets fence, and then down here to two parts of what was the triple combination. We've taken the first part away. We've got 9BC to play with here, and round to fence 10, to the Florida Coast fence that caused so many problems in the first round. It's going in a different direction this time. We're going to go on a right-hand spin down to new fence 16. Again, the NetJets framework there as the last. All set for takeoff. And Kelly, as you were just saying there, let's look at this. But Dara Kenny on the end is the big player. Let's try and read this. Christian Kukuk is going to be the storyteller here.
Sure, of course. I think it depends really on the round that he puts out and how much pressure he puts on the rest of the field, which is, my guess, a lot. But anything can happen, and you never know. And I think there could be some upsets in the middle, but obviously Dara going at the end, not knowing the horse. For some riders, that would maybe be a detriment, but for him, he's got so much experience. I think sometimes what you don't know is fine. You just go for broke and see what happens and learn on the way.
And we've watched him in action with that horse in the last couple of weeks. So I mean, yes, it's not years of experience together, but they've got plenty of ability together from that point of view. Ben Mayer, Anjou de Gressien, I've seen them do all the things they need to do. The fast turn-ups, the pace, the speed. Ben has just such great control, balance, and understanding with his horses as well. It's going to be really interesting. What will be really interesting for me is one of the middle part, the 3 24-year-olds in there, Emily, Brian, and Nina, how far they can jump out of the pack here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's also interesting in the jump-off, we've got two of, I would say, our most influential fences that fell in the first round, B of the triple and the Liverpool, both in play. So if they play the same in the jump-off, or if they have, like you said, the Liverpool is a little bit different direction this time, so it might ride a bit easier. But definitely, I think the jump-off will suit a horse with a very big stride, because you've got a lot of room out there to gallop.
Exactly. I mean, fence 10, the Liverpool, as you say, the Florida Coast Equipment fence was in a related line down to 11 to the Oxa there, and then the plank after that, and all the other things that came with it. Now it's sitting solo. It's a very different question.
Absolutely. Same with the double that was the triple combination. It's a lot of strides from fence 8 to 9B. So you're really going to have to pick up a good gallop and stay on it.
Sounds simple.
Yeah, easy. Just come up here and do it. So easy.
So easy. So easy. Well, good luck to them all. Final stages before we get into this jump off. Peter Grant, our course designer this week of Canada, done another very good job. We've got some really exciting designers as well as riders coming up. Our opening 5-star Grand Prix, Fidelity Grand Prix, we'll see the return of Gregory Baudot of France, who designed the courses in Paris alongside Santiago Varela. So great to welcome him back for his second spin here in Wellington. And throughout the season, we've got some great expertise who are writing the tests right the way throughout the season. So looking forward to that, culminating, of course, in the Rolex Grand Prix, the Rolex US Equestrian Open Grand Prix that takes place in the very end of March. That's going to be our closing Grand Prix. But again, did you notice I said it was 750,000 this year, not 500,000? And I'm going to throw 500,000 in there because the Bainbridge Grand Prix and the Lugano Diamonds Grand Prix have both gone up to 500,000 now. So they're going to be what we call weeks 7 and 9.
Yep.
If you're looking at an actual real calendar in the real world, that's sort of a week back from that.
Yep.
But that's what it's going to look like. So a week ahead of that from that point of view, because we start with Premier Week.
Right.
So we're sort of a week ahead of what you will actually look in your calendar. But basically that's going to take you through into March and February. Nations Cup in the mix there as well. So lots to look forward to coming up. But as I say, next week, Saturday night, is going to be the Great Charity Challenge. Tens of millions that have been raised for charities, and that's a wonderful thing as well here. It's not just all about winning lots of prize money. Prize money, give me prize money, and everyone deserves what they win. But it's also about putting back in.
Absolutely.
You know, so looking forward to that.
Looks like our arm is up.
The barrier's up.
Yep.
It's up and lifted and ready. That always gives us a little bit of clue that something is on the way. And Christian Kukuk's going to start us off with Checker 47. This course itself looks like a real running course. Yeah. Would you agree? Yeah,
there's definitely a lot of strides in between the fences. I did walk a related distance from the first jump and the jump off to fence 15. And then obviously 15 down to what was the planks. They replaced it with a black and white pole on top. I think a big mover could get 8 and 8, but the strides don't always win. I think a fast horse like Checker, he doesn't maybe have naturally the biggest stride, but he's so quick, he does one more stride just as quick as a horse that can leave out a stride.
Christian Kukuk then, Checker 47 to start us off. The Olympic champions together, Madeline Winter-Schultz, owner of this horse as well in there too. Kelly, deep breath. Here we go.
Looks like they've also narrowed up the rollback to the NetJets fence number 8. He comes a little bit on an angle. Just like the 8 like I walked. So he gets the 9 down to the vertical. Super turn back here.
Pops it.
Wow. Smooth down to the double. Really smooth. Super fast on the landing. Yeah.
Cruising speed. Yeah. There we go. It is going to be 37.56. What a start. What a start.
Yeah, that was the round I thought they would produce, and it was really, really everything that I thought. It was beautiful, smooth. The turns were just as you'd want. There was not a lot of break in the pace anywhere. Yeah, I don't know if the door is like slam shut, but it's very, very, it's on a very small crack.
I wouldn't say it was slam shut. I wouldn't say it was slam shut.
There's maybe one room here or there.
I would also probably risk myself a little saying that they gave plenty.
Yes. Yeah.
But they would still have a little bit in reserve if they needed it from that point of view.
Yeah, there was no unnecessary risks. It was
done so well.
Yep, exactly.
So they're landing over fence 8, the NetJets. First, the NetJets fence is in around 20 seconds, so
Okay.
keep an eye on that. Nina Malavé, the Rain family's Dynasty de Beaufort. Can the young French 24-year-old, top 3 in the Monaco Grand Prix, hold off the Olympic champions time of 37.56?
So she also gets the 8. So same amount of strides. I'd say this horse is naturally a little bit slower in the air than Checker. Gets a nice turn back. Yep, very smooth. Yeah, she was a little more conservative on that turn. Not by much, but just a little bit far away.
Still nicely done.
Yep.
It's going to be 39.64 for Nina Malavé and Dynasty de Beaufort. So we'll go into second. 2 seconds adrift of that, of the experienced combination, Christian Kuku and Checker. Really good round.
No, beautiful round, super smooth. There was no break in the rhythm ever. Really nice turn back. I think that just you really see the natural speed of Checker also, because when you watch the rounds, you wouldn't think, wow, he was so much faster, but it's just those little strides that he takes on the landing that he's right over to the next. I'd say maybe here she was a bit wider. Christian was so good about just right over to the Liverpool. But again, a super round. She should be thrilled with that.
Yeah, Emily Conter and the 24-year-old rider with the Stefex Stables, Portobello van der Voetkurf. Again, gone well in Grand Prix on the way up to this level from that point of view. This another step forward for them, and they did it so superbly. Wherever we come out here, let's see. Let's give it a go. It's a little rocket of a combination, though.
So she ends up on the 9, which is one more than Christian and Nina. So she needs to make a nice turn back here. Yeah, horse is really jumping super. Little voice. Again, super round.
Lovely
really
round.
nice.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff. 2 seconds adrift as well, and with the time at 40.49 for Emily Conter, it is going into third place so far. Christian Kuku keeps the lead at 37.56. But again, you're firing against the Olympic champions on a good day.
Right. You know, it's those, like you said, it's those little things that they do that don't seem fast, but like you said, it's a combination that know each other pretty well at the highest level of the sport. So these Nina and both Emily, like, double clears are amazing. So
take it.
Absolutely.
Great stuff. It is to Brian Mowbray now and MTM Vive Le Rêve. Now this will be interesting. 16-year-old horse. He's the 23-year-old rider's ridden this plenty of times now to win big classes. He won't need to hold back.
No. So he does the same amount of strides. And actually ends up on the 8 like I thought. So he did one less. The turn, he'll have to get back here. Yep.
Oh, push, no. Wasn't going to quite work.
No.
Horse is absolutely fine and cantering away. Brian is sitting up. There you go, you can see him on the floor. He's about to get up on his feet again. Not quite to be staying.
No, unfortunately, you could kind of see the momentum from the 8 stride. When it pushed him far out, he was trying hard to get the turn, but the horse was really kind of resisting. And then on that turn back, there's not a whole lot to do once you're on that half stride. You're right in the middle, so everybody looks okay. And
there's Chris Elliott standing there, who's the vet on site here amongst the team.
But again, you're trying to, like you said, this is a difficult sport. You're trying to make up those little places that give you the edge, and you push the envelope. Sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't, but everybody's fine and up. And
There we go.
Yep.
They should be able to catch a rein there. There we go. MTM Vive le Rêve, as we can see, all full fine, but in giving it a good go.
Absolutely.
You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and they just didn't have the one they wanted when they took off, and they got to go. They were going for it at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the
all fine.
The balance.
There you see.
Yeah, everybody's having a little check.
Chris just giving an overview down there. And they'll go and get fully checked out, but they don't seem too worried.
No, they're all right.
Okay, where are we up to?
Okay.
Alex Granato still to go, Ben Mayer still to go, Dara Kenny still to go in this NetJets Grand Prix, led so far by Christian Kukuk and Checker 47 at 37.56.
Yep.
It's an unfair question to say, can they? Because
they definitely
could.
Can. Yep.
They definitely could.
Yep.
From that point of view, so it might be time to really fire this up.
Yep.
From that point of view. Coming in, Alex Granato, Kisma Equestrians, Helios van der Nuishoeve. Now, can the Dutch-bred stallion produce what they've been producing so far through 2024 and into 2025?
Yep. You know, besides Dara...
Just rehearsing that turn.
Yeah, it's giving it a little show. Besides Dara, you know, both of these combinations have been in this position before, so they know what they need to do, and
there's going to be a little bit, I would imagine, and like we said up front, it depends what Christian does here, of going, stick to my plan. Do not 100%. Be lured into thinking there's something out there that I can pull off. If my plan's good enough, it will work.
Absolutely. And also as a rider, knowing what's best for your horse on that day is
and
super
what I'm left
important.
with is what I'm left with. If it's good enough, it's good enough.
Absolutely. He's really getting a big gallop.
Yeah. Tally ho, here we go. Alex Granato and Helios going for a big slice at the first.
Yep. Right on stride here.
Ah.
Bummer. Shoot. He actually got the 8 so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice turn back. That was a shame because I was really excited to see him really make a go for it. But again, still an amazing round. To be in the jump off so early in the season, he's going to be really looking forward to some of those 5 stars you were talking about. Good gallop home.
Another one that comes home well, but finishes on the 40.69. So Nina Malave in second now to Christian Kukuk, and it means going into 4th place there for Alex Granato with the fence down. With Helios, the others on the clears. Emily Conter in 3rd at the moment, and still leaving Ben Mayer and Dara Kenny left to go.
All right, do you have a prediction?
No.
No. You're like, I'm not even going to try.
I have no prediction at all, because all I'm going to say is I think it's possible.
Yep.
I think it's possible. I don't think the door is slammed. Ben Mayer, world number 3, twice winner of this Grand Prix. Anjou de Grosillon. Time to beat 37.56. Needs to be landing after 8 in around, well, Christian was there in around 20 seconds.
I think this would be a good gauge because these horses have pretty similar strides as well. They're both very fast.
And this horse can turn up so well as well.
Perfect.
Good cruise down there.
Get one less there, the 8.
And again, you just saw him just gently open up.
Yep. Tons of control on this rollback. Look at her jump.
Close.
Maybe.
Go on, Ben.
He needs to really move, I think.
It's going to start running out of ground if they're not careful. It's going to be a really nice round, but not enough. It was good early on, and just leaves them a second or so adrift, 39.29, and so into second place for Ben Mayer and Anjou de Grosillon. So Ben in second, Nina Malave of France in 3rd, Germany leading with Christian Kukuk. I mean, but he just had such lovely control through that, didn't he?
So smooth. Maybe he took one balanced stride into the double, which was the difference. I'm not sure. The horse also jumped beautiful. She made these beautiful efforts.
You see her. She gets so tidy in front. She just becomes a torpedo over a fence, doesn't she? She just, everything's nicely condensed.
She's just beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful round.
Okay, one left to go. Can he do it? Dara Kenny and 0K. Zero room, maybe, to try and beat that of Christian Kukuk. 37.56. Ben was right up there early on.
And then it just inched away.
Inched away. Okay, Dara Kenny, last to go. 0K might walk away from here from quite a few K if he can in his bank balance. We'll see.
Same as Ben. He just really flowed up in the 8. Yep. He needs to gallop here.
Time's good for the first half.
But
you've got to be a little bit careful in the... Ah! He was just trying to get to the left, wasn't he? Just trying to get the curve out.
Shoot.
Now, interesting, I mean, he's had to take a pull there, but time-wise, he wasn't far away.
No.
He was on it.
Yeah.
He was on it. 38.91. It's 8 faults there for Dara Kenny as the last to go. 0K. He doesn't get 0. He's going to go into 6. He's going to get plenty of prize money out of tonight for the Irishman. But it is going to be a win for Christian Kukuk and Checker 47, the Rolex Grand Prix winners as well here in Wellington. But they make a big winning return as they've headed back here as the Olympic champions now. And just so good. Giving a really good effort there for Dara Kenny and 0K. You can see bowling along down to the Florida Coast Equipment fence there. But all set for the presentation. Christian Kukuk, number 1 spot, Checker. Ben Mayer in second, Anjou de Grecienne. Top 3 for Nina Malavey. And again, it is really good performance from the French lady there once more. Emily Contant, same for her, for the young Belgian rider, for a top 5 finish with Portobello. Alex Granato Helios in 5th. Dara Kenny finishing into 6th place in the end. Really nice curtain raiser, I think, for the big 5 stars we're going to see in a few weeks' time as well.
For sure.
Looking forward to that. Highlight out of that, Kelly?
Oh my gosh, there were so many amazing horse and rider combinations. That jump up from Christian was really fun to watch because it was one of those that was so deceivingly fast because it was smooth that it was just every stride he was on it. There was no break in the rhythm, but then Ben's horse jumping super. It was an amazing night of show jumping and, like you said, a real exciting start to an awesome season coming ahead.
So there's our top 3 about to head in for the presentations as well. We've got the presentation of our leading lady rider order, presentation to our groom of the winning horse as well. But as I say, good curtain raiser for what's coming up over the weeks to come. And it is going to be on 2 weeks' time. We'll be here for the 5-star Fidelity Grand Prix as well. We've got lots going on there. Big production as well for it. Make sure you're here early enough for that. Don't just turn up with, 5 horses gone or something like that, or tune in at that point.
Yep.
Come
up in person.
Turn up before it. We've got a pre-show for you from around 6 o'clock as well. We've got loads to bring you that week as well in terms of giving you great insight into that. We're going to be on the panel desk for that before that 5-star Grand Prix, as we will be for the 5-star Grand Prix all the way through the season and the Nations Cup as well. And we are also going to be lighting it up here in the arena here in Wellington. But thanks to NetJets once again, amazing supporters of the sport too, and that presentation on its way to our leading 3 here tonight. Christian Kukuk claiming his first 5-star Grand Prix with Checker for 2025. And congratulations, Madeline Winter-Schultz, Thomas Muller as well, a part owner there as well, the famous footballer. And from the Beerbaum Stables, great start for them. Ben Mayer also solid start into 2nd place with Anjou. Let's take a look at the winning round here. Christian Kukuk and Checker 47, the Olympic champions. Kelly, let's talk us through some of this.
Yeah, so he did the 8 strides from 1 to 2 and then got the 9 strides slowing down, which set up this beautiful turn back to the NetJets that we saw cause a few problems. And then it was just smooth down to the double. I wouldn't say he ran down there, but he never took a check. He just let him just
cruise.
And then here is really where I felt like he won it. He was so efficient back to Liverpool. You can see him really landing and going, taking the first distance, and then he just got to sit chilly in the 8 strides home. Made it look so easy.
That turn back there, he said, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
And like you saw about the rideability, you saw how reactive that horse was.
And our leading lady there is Tyser Irwin this week, and just receiving her award as part of the Martha Jolie Kerr of Douglas Elliman, 16 years of supporting the leading lady rider, and congratulations to her. Martha presenting the awards there to our winner. Very well done to her. And getting set for the rest of our awards here tonight as well. Top 3 about to head in from our $215,000 NetJets Grand Prix. Joined there by Sarah Kessler presenting. And a little bottle of champagne in there. It's giving everybody a chance to get a few more layers on here this week, but you know, we get bringing out the glam. We're bringing out the glam. But the good thing is, it's back to shirt sleeves next week. We're back into
Sunny
polo
weather.
shirts. It's nearly there. Tomorrow's going to be nice.
Yep.
Today has been pretty good. Let's take a look at our top 3, and congratulations to them. Coming forward, our presenters, Corey Valentine, Senior VP of Sales for NetJets, Melissa Dombro, VP of Sales for NetJets as well, joined by Laura Southard, Senior Manager of Strategic Partnerships as well, to present to our top 3 here. As the crowd head down to the edges there. If you are here in the stadium, reminder that we do throw out the ribbons there, the riders do. There's also some gifts with them as well, so it's well worth staying from that point of view.
Try to grab them.
Ben Mayer there just giving a wave and a photo to the crowd.
Just going to give the ribbon.
And so, going in reverse order. Third heading up to the podium, which is Nina Malave and the Rain family's Dynasty de Beaufort stepping forward. And there are presenters, our winner.
I think it's safe to say Checker loves Wellington. Loves it here.
He's quite happy.
Yeah.
Quite
the
happy.
color really suits him.
Yeah. He's suited to the blue as well. I can't quite see what he's saying. I think he's saying it to Ben Mayer, but I have to start bringing up a lip reader into the broadcast.
He's checking out his fans.
Yeah.
Checkers
Yeah.
fans.
Checkers fans.
Yeah.
Christian's got a few fans as
Few,
well.
not as many as Checker. Oh, there we go.
It's been, really good. I've been at a number of shows with him as well, and just seeing the fans come up to him. And he's still a little bit surprised by it at times. He's got very used to it, though, now. And Ben Mayer there receiving the award with Anjou.
Yep.
Also owned by Pamela Wright and Charlotte Roster. And stepping forward, the Olympic champions, Rolex Grand Prix winners here in Wellington. The defending champion, and all smiles there. Look at that. Nice and relaxed. Yeah, Checkers just, I've done so many photos now. I can do this. And there also horses offered their mainstream munchies, which translates to some carrots, which is what horses like as a munchie.
Yep.
Kindly supported by Mainstream down there. And getting set for the national anthem of our winning rider here tonight as part of this NetJets Grand Prix. There we go. Let's have some. Let's go. Oh, I'll have that a lot, thanks. I had a big night. National anthem of our winning rider tonight being Christian Kuckuck for Germany. Well done, Christian.
Yeah,
well
beautiful.
done, Checker. He's getting quite used to being
Checker's very comfortable
the
there.
hero. And look at Checker there. Just stand. It's okay. I can get the photos. It's fine. I've got the look
so
for this.
funny.
I've practiced this.
Yeah.
I've practiced this. Don't worry about it. Well, all set for the victory gallop. Congratulations to them on our lineup of our leading three there. And a happy three, no doubt. The Rain family's Dynasty de Beaufort with Nina Malavé for France in third. Anjou de Grecian for the Rosters and Pamela Wright for Ben Mayer in second. And Christian Kukuk with Checker 47. Congratulations to the team there from Madeline Winter-Schultz, the Beerbaum Stables, Thomas Muller and all the team that are owners within Checker. Have a fun evening, all of you. And it's all smiles around now. It's time to dish out a few ribbons on the way back. There you go. Ben Mayer chucks his out there as well. They'll all be heading one out there for the crowd. And Christian's just trying to find the kids out there. Christian's going to, and Checker's just going to go and have a little look there and go, okay. All smiles.
Oh, no.
They'll get it. Don't worry. There was a
Checker says that's mine.
the kids were chasing for it last week. Don't worry. They'll get it in a few minutes
They'll
when the horses are out of the way. Yeah. Lots of photos down there
that's
too.
Great fun.
Good fun. Good fun. Good jumping. Superb talents. And as I say, readying for our 5-star upcoming Fidelity Grand Prix in a few weeks' time as well. Looking good there for the Olympic champions, and that shows you the quality of what to expect throughout the Winter Equestrian Festival. Kelly, thank you very much for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me. What
Fun
a wonderful night.
as ever. Wonderful night of sport. So much more to come. We are building throughout, but we have certainly taken off this week with the NetJets Grand Prix, and we have landed with the Olympic champion as the champion. Thank you to all of those involved. Thank you to Double H Farm as well, to the team there who present the Grooms Award as well. There we go, $500 being presented to the winning groom as well. All smiles there. We sign off and say thank you very much to all the team here from another Wellington International production. We will see you very soon here from Florida.